And we're live.
All
Hi.
right.
Hola, hola, todos.
Chat.
Chat.
Do we know who's there?
You're right. Oh, well, hello, hello. We're Gringos are us, expats with a plan. We got a plan.
I think so.
How do you know?
I don't know. Just sort of shocked that there's no. Is that the right chat?
What chat do you want?
The one from the.
That's chat.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Alfredo.
Hola,
Hola.
Alfredo.
Let's go. Oh, Gringos. Wait, back in KC. What? Wait. What you doing, baby? He's doing some. Oh, he's cutting some lights. Should I cut lights too?
No, I just think I was roll.
Hi, Rick. How are you doing tonight? Oh, sorry if you guys can hear the horns. We're in the city, you know.
It's either very, very quiet or it's very, very loud. It.
Yes. Oh, hello. Hi, Jenny. Khalid. Hello, Khalid. Nice to have you here tonight. Um, we have a couple of really good news announcements,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have a really bad news announcement.
Uh huh.
Uh, Alana, wow, hello. My goodness, there's lots of people here tonight. Let me just start pulling some of our new people up and just to say hello. So we have Khalid.
Khalid. Hola.
Hello, hola. And here we go. Alana. Hola, Alana. Rona. Or Rona. Is it Rona
Rona.
or Rona? I think Rona. But thanks for coming on tonight. And Debbie. Debbie from Ahihi. That's right. That's
Mm-hmm.
right. SB. Hola to you, SB. From, I'm going to try to say this,
Iguera
Iguera
Blanca.
Blanca,
Nayarit.
Nayarit. Nice to have you here. Pat Paul. Cold and rainy in Arkansas. I'm so sorry. And Marcus from Puerto Vallarta. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. Um, so we got, Alfredo, he's on it. Alfredo is on it. Yes, I did get a job. That is big announcement number one. And what you guys don't know is we were literally cutting it down to the wire. We were going to have to make some hard decisions about what we were going to do in January if I didn't have a job. Just to, so you understand, I had a 3 month contract that kept getting renewed and turned into a 9 month contract, but it ended 13 months ago. So I haven't had any income for over a year.
14.
Well, in theory, yeah, before the interview. So it would be 14 months.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, the money I earned from that job has supported us for 23 months, almost 2 years. We lived off that for almost 2 years. And so, yeah, we were down to the bottom of the barrel.
Hard conversations were starting to be had, and it was like,
Yeah, yeah. What do we do? We were trying to get some friends to help us find just rent, just pay rent because Airbnb is ridiculously expensive these days. Could we?
and
Could
not going that way. It's
no.
just continuing to
So I was
go.
like, can we do that? Can we just find a place and pay rent? That if we do, that means we have to change our plans. We'd have to sign a lease, stay someplace for a year. If that didn't work out, do we go back to the US? I mean, it was that kind of conversation.
But
But
we had very good friends in
yes.
Querétaro that were prepared to throw us a lifeline, and we're like, look, I've got a house that's in the family, no lease, no nothing, just
Yeah.
and so that conversation. No sooner had we got that conversation had, and the next day it was we got a job, and it was like, okay. I
Literally.
mean, literally, it was
Literally. It
boom,
was
boom.
like the very next day. Well, it wasn't really the next day. What happened was is I thought I was having an interview with a project manager. But as it turns out, it really wasn't an interview. He had a list of candidates, and all he wanted to see was my personality. And if he's measuring personalities to see if the candidates that he is interested in are going to work well together. That's literally all it was. And it was such a good conversation. He was using lots of inclusive words from the get-go. It was very laid back. I mean, I felt so good about it, but I've been burned before.
We went down this road.
Yeah, and I didn't want to get my hopes up. And so I did what people should still be doing. A lot of people apparently do not do this anymore. I sent him an email and thanked him the next morning for the conversation. And his response was so incredibly positive. It basically said that he looked forward to working with me.
Well, duh.
So, but then the official word came a couple days later. So, yes, I have a 3-year contract, guys. 3 years. Now, with these types of contracts, that could mean 2.5, that could be 3.5. But at the moment, as the ink is on the paper, it's a 3-year contract. So, whew, that's all I have to say about that. I'm really happy about it. That means that we can continue our plans. We can travel. We can do Airbnb if we have to, which we pretty much have to.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the whole process of figuring out where we're going to live and if we're going to continue to do after the 6 months that we're decompressing in Querétaro.
Yes.
And then we'll be back on, as Willie Nelson says, we're on the road again. And then we're probably going to pare down the list some because, quite honestly, this constant movement really is getting tiring.
Well, let's see how we feel after we take a 6-month break. Just saying.
I know, but I'm just throwing that out there. But this weekend is going to be hectic.
Oh, yes, because we have to pack Thursday and Friday. We have to move to Querétaro Saturday. We have friends to help us unpack, thank God. Sunday morning, I'm flying back to Kansas City. I have to go get the work laptop. I have to, there's a really loud car going by. Hold on.
Motorcycle.
I have to go get the work laptop, number one, which we're not shipping that to Mexico. We've been through that before.
No, we ain't playing that game again.
No. I have to get a drug screen done, so I got to do that anyway. And we have a whole lot of stuff sitting at his mom's house that I need to mule back into Mexico. So yeah. I'll be out of country. I'll be out of Mexico for about a week, maybe longer if I have to, but probably just a week. And there you have it. I am very excited, and his mom can't wait to see me, and I can't wait to see her. So yeah,
sort of hurt my feelings. Mom was like, "Yes, you mean I get to see Gina?"
Mark, who?
Yeah, I mean. I am your favorite son. I mean,
the only son.
Well,
okay. So before we announce the next one, let's get through some of the comments here. Hey, hola, Mary, welcome.
Hola, Mary.
Kingman, Arizona. All right, and Linda from Texas. Hola, Linda. And Rana. It's like Donna. Okay, with an R. Rana. Very good. Thank you. There you go, Mark. That's for you, Mr. Cigar. Looking forward to having a cigar or two.
That is Marcus on the list. So yes.
Sorry, my hair looks weird tonight. Landon. Hola, Landon. And Arlene. Hey, baby. We can't wait to see you.
We just have to be a little tempered Saturday.
Yeah. Well, we'll be a little bit. We're going to have a good time, but we can't be.
Yeah, because I think your flight's at like 5 something in the morning.
We can't be up too late. Of course, I could probably sleep on some of the flight. I don't know.
I remember that drive out to the Querétaro airport. There's some topes there that I do not want to hit.
That's true. And let's see what you got here. Alana, having worked in HR, I can tell you that the thank you letters are becoming rare. Yes. Thank you for mentioning this, because I did have another interview with, there was a client that was in Tennessee,
Mhm.
and the recruiter who set me up with that interview, I emailed him, and because I noticed on the meeting invite that I had with the clients that there were no emails included. It's like they blind copied them. So I said to the recruiter, can I get their email addresses because I would like to send them a thank you. Honest to God, I would have never believed this. He said to me, "Oh, that's a really good idea. I bet that would go far." What? Like, really? People don't do this anymore? I mean, it's not like you have to take out a typewriter or a pen and physically write
It's
it,
a quick email.
stick it in an envelope, put stamps on it. You just email them. That's all it takes. And and he wouldn't give me their addresses either. He said he would convey it on my behalf, which I also thought was weird, but
Whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Nope.
We don't care what they got anyway because we didn't get that job.
You
So
know
we got
what?
this one.
Yes, the power of thank you notes. I just think I don't know, I'm old school.
Well, the other part of that, honestly, is it shows that you have the ability to follow up. And when you're in an IT position, a lot of what you are doing
That's true.
is problem solving and then following up.
Yeah.
And so sending that thank you note
Mm,
is a way of going, you know what? I complete the job. So
that's right. It's too bright. There we
there you
go. So, let's see. So, I'm not going to highlight everybody saying congratulations, but I do appreciate it. So, thank you. I mean, this was really weighing heavy on both of us. And we're just very glad that this matter is resolved, and it's resolved for at least 2 or 3 years.
Papa gets new shoes.
Eyeglasses, dental appointments. I mean, all the things.
I got two. I have worn these pair of Hey Dudes in Mexico for over 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 pairs of Hey Dudes sitting at my mom's, brand new, waiting to come down here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they are so comfortable. And they've been sitting there for almost a year, and it's like, I can't wait to put them on my feet.
Yeah,
These are
I understand
the
that.
soles of these are getting very thin.
Yeah, yes. And when we walk, we do a lot of walking these days. If he's wearing those, I notice that you start having hip pain and things like that when we're walking and stuff. So,
Well, that's just because I'm
new
old.
shoes.
New shoes.
New shoes. All right. Next big announcement. I'll just bring it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Boom. Whee! You got to lean over. Lean that way. Lean this way. There you go.
Oh.
Guys, we got 4,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh. What, 5 weeks ago? We were celebrating
No.
3,000.
75. It took us 75 days to go from 3,000 to 4,000.
Yes.
Thank all of you. That just is and
Yes.
we were doing this and
Thank
we're like,
you.
and we were contemplating, all right, should we, because it was a little short of 4,000. We're like, you think we're going to hit 4,000 by Wednesday? We didn't want to be premature on that, and we didn't have to worry. We hit it, and then all of a sudden, right, like
It just blew up.
we now just went past 4,200. So
yeah, we're celebrating 4,000 and it is already 4,200. Like, I don't know what's happening, but thank you.
yes,
Thank you very
and so
much.
for all of you who are new,
Yes,
welcome to the Gringos R Us family. We
Yes.
appreciate it.
we sure do. And we're really happy to have you a part of this family because we try to be very humble. We try to be straight with any information we have, no fluff, no BS, like Ernie likes to say.
Well,
No bull.
and quite honestly, be like the Mexican people.
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's smile, and let's not worry about the little shit.
No.
I
And,
mean-
And this community that has built up is such a great community. Uh, Regularly, you'll see in the chat that people are helping each other.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't know an answer, there's always somebody here who does, and that's the best part about it. And we learn from you as much as you may learn from us. I think.
Probably more.
I think so too. Probably more.
I mean, that's just it has sort of in the last 3 months taken off, and
You know, and Alana, yes, the algorithm. What is the
yeah,
algorithm? We haven't figured out that stupid algorithm yet. We don't know what it is. I've been tweaking and trying to do things differently for gosh, months and months and months.
we
And
were in one category, and so we were noticing, and then was like, well, should we switch category?
yeah, we switched the niche, but I
I don't
don't
think it
know.
had any
I don't think it
difference.
had anything to do with it because that was just very recently. We very recently switched from people and vlogs to travel. And the reason I never chose travel in the first place is because yes, we are traveling across Mexico, but it's really slow travel and the channel is about more than just travel. It's about living here.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if you want to know the different resorts and things, there's
yeah, there's Papa.
Papa. I
Papa.
mean, he's going to different resorts, and he can give you a better take on all that than we can. If you want to know about what life is like
Mm-hmm.
as a couple of older people,
Yeah,
you know, if you want to know what it's like as younger people chasing the American dream, I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, they're a generation below us, so
yeah. So I mean, there's a niche for everyone, and so I moved it to travel. But that really was just in the last few weeks. It wasn't even when this growth started taking off. I just noticed that a lot of other similar channels were in a travel niche. So I'm like, okay, I
give it a
guess
try.
I'll give in. I'll do it. Let's see what happens. So
Don't know if that was the impetus. I don't
or
think
or
so.
maybe it was that crazy semi political video that we recently did. Semi, we try really hard. He's laughing. We try really hard not
It wasn't
to
even
be.
political.
No, but it got taken that way.
Well,
So
some people want,
and you know how that is when you start talking politics, it just feeds a fire, and it
and we
just
ain't going down that road.
yeah. So maybe it had something to do with that, but or the Cafanes concert. That Cafanes concert got like, oh my gosh, over 5,000 views.
Yep.
Just crazy. I don't
Yep.
know. Whatever. Algorithm, schmalgorithm.
Yep.
I don't understand it. So, um, hey, Greg, I can see the subscribers moving even quicker. I've noticed that a lot less travel bloggers are doing Mexico too expensive. Yeah, yeah. And I agree.
And
And the ones who we used to watch, a lot of them aren't even on anymore. Like they just vanished.
yeah, I mean, you go back to one of our early ones when we were like, oh yeah, let's do when we were trying to figure out content because we
Yeah.
hadn't really started doing anything yet. We were like,
Right.
let's do our top 10 favorite Mexico YouTube channels. And
Right.
I don't know if half of them are still around.
I don't think so.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people, and
that was only 2.5 years ago.
sometimes life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
People decide that they're going to move to another country, or maybe relationships break up. Things like that. I know that relationship breaking up has pretty much bombed at least 3 channels that I could think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there's others that just seemingly vanished, and we have no idea what happened to them. But there was no telltale signs that they were going away, and then they were just gone.
Yep.
So, and so yeah, to have new people doing stuff like this in Mexico, I'm seeing fewer people do it. The ones that are doing it tend to be people that have been doing it for a while. And
also, well, in Greg's sort of leading up to the next piece of information, which
the
was
expense,
the
the
expense,
expense,
and it was just announced that
yes,
the Mexican minimum wage is going up another 12%. That means that the 2025 financial requirements are going to be just under $4,500 a year.
no, 4,500 a month.
or 40, yeah, excuse me, 4,500 a month. Yeah, yeah, $4,500 a month, and
Okay,
that's
look, I don't know about
we wouldn't be here
I don't know
under
about
that program.
you. I don't know about you, but when we did this, it was like 25, $2,700 a month for one person,
Just under 26.
something like
Yeah.
that. And we thought we were going to make it for two of us to qualify on income alone, which was like, are you okay there, honey? A little over 5,000 a month, right? And we were short for 2 months, and it's because
Missed it by that
yeah,
much.
I mean we were good. We were short like $200 for 2 months, and
It's because of the way the pays fell. I mean, it just was one of those.
So we didn't quite qualify for both of us to reach that 2,600 whatever it was each. So they used me and they added him as a dependent, and I think that added like maybe $1,000 to it. So it was like 2,600 plus
Whoop-de-doo.
1,000. But that was only, think about this. That was
2022.
that was 2 years ago. 2 years
It's almost
ago,
doubled.
and it's almost twice as much now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about people who really wanted to try to come to Mexico and be able to live off of a pension or Social Security. I don't see how you're going to qualify now.
Well,
I mean,
I think the only way that can reasonably be done if you are short is going to be the
regularization program,
or
mm-hmm.
you do the. I mean, if you have, let's say, you have $3,000 a month coming in, and
oh, you're not going to go there.
Hold on. If you have $3,000 a month, you can live in Mexico. I'm not going 1,500 or anything like that. If you have $3,000, you can live comfortably in Mexico.
Very comfortably.
Yes.
Yes.
And so if that's the case, you save up $2,000 and that $2,000 gets dumped in once a month into your bank account and then gets transferred.
I knew you were going to go there.
I'm just saying, if you've got enough that you can live here, that's.
So in other words, what he's saying is make deposits to yourself to make it appear like you have $4,400 a month of income. That's
Bingo.
what he's saying. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's risky, frankly, but
I'm not saying it for somebody who's got. I'm going to be on $1,500 a month, and that's going to be tough to make it work.
Right.
But if you got $3,000 a month coming in, you're going to be able to live here with no problem.
Yeah.
And so if that's the game, because there has also been the proposal of changing the formula. When they change the formula, we'll drop back down to what is a realistic number. But if they're not going to do that, then this may be a game that must be played to sort of.
Yeah, so Mariana from Mexico Relocation Guide confirmed today that the president of Mexico is raising the minimum wage in Mexico by about 12%, making, I believe it was 278 pesos a day. That's really, think about that for a minute. 278 pesos a day is minimum wage.
$14.
14?
$14.
Yeah, $14 a day. I can't even imagine. So there's one of the reasons why you see everybody in Mexico hustling to do everything they can to try to make some money. Rather they're juggling in the street between red lights, or they're selling their wares along the road. They're doing whatever they can to make extra money. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. So that's just. And if you are able to do it in 2025, just remember, she's also promised that it's going to continue to rise at least 12% per year.
Every year.
So if you're in the position of going, yeah, I can qualify, doesn't mean you have to move, but you need to get moving, to at least get the visa and get down here, get your temporary residency, and play that game and get that card in your hand so that you've got it before it continues, because we don't know when the Congress is actually going to go, okay, we're now going to adopt the new formula that has been proposed that would take it back down. And with, you know, the posturing that's going on, you know, between Mexico and the U.S. right now, that may not happen anytime soon. I mean, they just got done also passing a new tax that for cruise ship passengers to arrive in Mexico of $42 per person.
Really?
Just got passed.
Meaning if they disembark in Mexico from the ship?
If you are on a cruise ship that goes to Mexico, you are going to pay Mexico $42.
Oh,
So, just
you
saying.
know.
Yeah, you got 3,000 passengers on a ship. That's a big chunk of change.
Well, somebody's got to help pay for the port.
I understand that. I'm just putting out that just got passed.
And you know what? Papa, you got it right. The algorithm will be obeyed.
Yeah, they just never tell us what the hell it
I
was.
just don't know what it is. Yes. Hola, Ruby. I've enjoyed watching your journey. Seeing the difference in your spirits has me yearning for when we get to go. Thank you.
It is a lot different.
It's different. And we're happier.
Oh, God, yes.
We're happier. There's a lot of reasons for it, but just the overall general thing is there's less stress and we're happier.
Well, and you're surrounded by happy people. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the, you know, it's hard to be a fuddy-duddy when people are smiling around you all the time. It's easy to get cranky when you're surrounded by everybody going, I mean, you just sort of pick that up.
No,
and,
it's true.
You know, I mean, you go to the grocery store in the U.S. and nobody, you know, nobody's talking to anybody. It's, you know, just like, okay, whatever. But here, you know, hey, take your time, have a good time.
Hi, Shane. Thanks for joining us tonight. And Sleepy Joe, saludos from Zakia Acento. The big Coronas. Yeah, where did you get that?
Well, I went to the Oxxo.
Oh, he went to the Oxxo and he got some.
Well, I only had 2 little ones, so I was like, okay, I need just to make sure I got through tonight. So, yeah.
Well, he's drinking Corona with you, baby.
And see, he's in Zakia, so it won't be long. We'll be able to share one together.
That's right. We know where Zakia is. Oh, I passed up Claudia. Claudia, I'm so sorry. Saludos from Chicago. I love this. This is so awesome. Oh, we're going to have to do this in Espanol now. Muchísimas felicidades. Que pido adiós. Que pido adiós. Do you know what that is? Dios is God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Que pronto sean 100,000. Oh, saludos desde Texas. Very well deserved. Great videos. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mirna.
Tell you what, we get to 100,000, they're going to be one hell of a big party.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just,
you know, for as long here's what it took us
30 months to get to 3,000.
30 months to get to 3,000. And it's taken us.
Took us 14 months to get to 1,000. So then we had 16 months
just
to get the other 2. And now all of a sudden it's like, boom. So who knows?
I don't do real Mexico. No, but you do resorts and traveling.
And there are people that need to know that.
And that's something you're feeding a need there. People want to see these videos for sure.
There are people that when we first started coming to Mexico, we thought that was the real Mexico. So it really wasn't until we, you know, broke free from the resort one day that we suddenly had our eyes open and went, holy crap, there's a lot more to this than what we actually thought. And damn. The further we got from the resort, the better it got.
It's true.
I mean,
yeah, we like to be pampered like the next person, but you know,
hell yes.
A vacation is a vacation, and that's really all it can be. We spent almost 2 weeks at the one resort at Christmas last year. Guys, that was so expensive. It was so expensive. It was a wonderful break, and probably was the best resort we'd ever been in. But
not probably.
but it was so expensive.
I can go out on a limb and go, yeah, that was by far.
We could have had a 10-day Caribbean cruise in a first class cabin with a butler that cost as much as that resort did.
Don't think it'd have been as good.
Yeah,
Just saying.
yeah, but it was celebrity, and you know how they do their filet mignon.
Well, yeah, but then you got to pay for that because the Tuscan Grill is not part of the.
I know.
You have to have the dining package.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Yes, please subscribe. Share with your friends. Share with your neighbors. Share with your sons and daughters, your dogs and your cats.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. Oh, yes, not you're in a long sleeve shirt. It is.
It is. There's.
Mm.
It's not consistent, but there is enough of a little breeze that when it shows and sort of pops up, it's like, woo. So
it gets in the 40s.
It gets in the high 40s here at night in Puebla. So
it gets in the high 70s during the day and the high 40s at night. And if the breeze is up a little bit, it feels even cooler.
Yes.
I actually have a space heater on the patio here next to me.
That's why she's in short sleeves, because I brought the space heater out.
Yes,
he
did. So let's see. What? It's going to go higher than that. It is already over 4,400 in some cities. Wow. Yep. Oh, Alana, gosh, I just can't even imagine that.
I mean, the formula the rate it was going, it was going to end up being over 5. And so, again, each one of these consulates is its own little fiefdom that, they set their own rules. And, and it used to be that McAllen was the one that on their own implemented the new formula. And so they were about, $900 $900 a month less because of the formula. And the problem is once word got out, through, people like Ernie and us and, Mariana and Mexico Relocation Guide, going, hey, McAllen is the lowest one. They got inundated.
Yeah, they did.
They got pounded.
Yeah, they did.
And so the consulate's
bad.
The consulate general there went, hold on, we're working our butts off here because we are the only ones that are following this. And they went, bag it. And they had, they went to the same formula as everybody else. And then it became.
And then they restricted.
And then they restricted that you had to be a Texas resident.
They used to take anybody. It didn't matter where you were from. They would take you and do the appointment with you. But now they restricted that too. So, that 4,400, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine having to try to qualify for that. If it goes up again the following year, it's getting to the point where if you earn that much money,
it doesn't matter where you can retire.
It doesn't matter where you retire. You could go just about anywhere in the world. You could go to Malta if you want to. I mean, you could go anywhere, just about. Well, Malta is special because they have a really high investment.
Yeah, you have to have a chunk of change in the bank, but the advantage is 2 things. Number one, it does speak English. So if you're coming from an English-speaking country, and number 2, you get to go play on the Popeye movie set.
That's true. And Malta's cost of living is pretty low. Pretty low. It's just that you have to have a pretty big investment income to.
It's pretty low because they don't let just anybody in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But yeah, if you're making that much money, that's net, guys. Deposits in your account. That's not gross pay.
No.
So that means that your gross pay is probably like $6,000 a month. So that's net.
But you can play the game.
Yeah, well, and Alana's asking, but this is a very good question. This is why I'm not keen on that thought. You have to tie the deposits to pay stubs or income. So how would that work?
No, you don't.
What I have heard is that you're paying yourself, and you have to make it regular.
Like the 15th of the month, every month.
Every single month on
Boom.
the same day,
Boom.
or on a
Boom.
consistent bi-weekly basis, you have to have a regular deposit that hits your account. And there's ways to make it appear.
And they don't care if it goes out because they didn't look at the expenditures.
No, but you don't just transfer it in. No, you
could bring it in from PayPal.
You can bring it in from PayPal or Venmo or something, and you can say that people pay you for a service or something like that. I'm not keen on it. I think it's a little shaky. You're on shaky ground.
It's shady as hell. Not just a little on shaky ground. It's shady as hell. But if it's regular, and to be fair, when they looked at ours, and what we did is we highlighted the deposits at the top for every month.
Yeah.
And that's basically all she went through, was looked at the deposits and did one cursory glance at 1 month and sort of went.
So we have to say here, that's what they did where we went.
When we went, every council is a little different.
Every agent is different.
Mm-hmm.
Every consulate is different. Every consulate general is different. There are some places probably that want those pay stubs. Nobody asks for our pay stubs.
No.
There are people who want proof that you have a job if you can't retire, and they want a letter from your employer. But then there's people like me who are contractors, and all they asked me was, how do you get your work?
I think a lot of it also has to do with the attitude that you have when you walk in there. I think that walking in with that positive attitude and being grateful for the opportunity and everything else. And I mean, and I even went early and managed to meet the young lady that was doing our interview and tried to speak to her in Spanish. And she laughed at me and went, we can do this in English. Oh, thank you. And so she was laughing, but it was, having that right attitude made a huge difference.
Yeah. I'm just feeling bad for people that I know want to do this.
Yes.
And it's just getting harder and harder to qualify. It's shockingly hard. I don't know. Gabriel, in the USA, neighbors are sour, not friendly, especially in Los Angeles. Oh, it's not just Los Angeles.
Just LA, Gabriel.
It's pretty much any big city, anywhere you go. It could be New York, it could be Chicago, it could be Pittsburgh, it could be Miami,
it could be Charlotte or Asheville. Asheville's not a huge city, and there was
I don't know. I don't know why people are like that. When I was a kid,
I ain't going down the road.
I'm just going to say, when I was a kid, neighbors looked out for each other. The neighborhood moms would look out for the kids, and if you did something bad, you best believe the neighborhood moms took care of it, and then your own parents took care of it when you got home.
Yeah, if Miss Smith had to come out from her house to stop you from doing something, you knew, and she didn't have any hesitation of going, Mark, what are you doing?
Right.
And it was like,
but that's like lost.
That sense of community has been gone for a long time.
When community's gone and you stop caring about your neighborhood, your neighbors.
That's what's so nice about being down here.
When you stop caring, then I think that's where that comes from. Mm-hmm. And people by nature are gregarious, and they like to socialize. Not everybody does. Some of us are introverts. We still like to socialize. We just have to keep it low key and not get ourselves drained out from doing it. But people naturally want to be around other people, and people naturally want to be happy. But whenever you isolate yourself and you take away that social aspect and you don't interact with your neighbors or your community anymore,
well,
then you're just miserable and unhappy.
Yep. And then when shut up, Mark. Just keep going. I'm about to go down a road I don't want to go on. So
honestly, that community is here. It's here in
Oh,
Mexico.
good God,
It's
yes.
here. You see it in the parks when you walk to Central or any Jardín.
I mean,
You know,
we're only in neighborhoods for months, and
yeah,
and when we were in Oaxaca, it was 10 weeks, and we're walking down, and the mechanic shop is right down the street, and the gentleman who also worked at the Agua Casa was
hmm
across the street, and he'd sit down there, and they'd sit on an old bench seat that
yeah,
came out of a vehicle, and they'd sit there. But we were going out someplace, and he gave us recommendations.
yeah.
And so it wasn't oh shit, there's two gringos, let them go. No, he was que donde da, it was
I
like,
mean, here in Puebla, we went to Mercado de Sabores, and I didn't realize that it was just full of restaurants. We had kind of gone there because we were going to go to a mercado, and then we were going to get something to eat. So we're looking around and we're looking at a map and things like that. And this man, a total stranger to us,
Mhm.
walked up to us and carried on a conversation for about 10 minutes, learning about where we're from, what we're doing, and
what we're looking for.
what are we looking for. So I told him I wanted to buy some flour. And then he kind of wanted to know why I needed it. And I said to bake. And he was like, basically asking if I didn't like the pastries that were made in Mexico. No, that's not it. I'm
Couldn't find sourdough.
I make sourdough, English muffins. I make Danish butter cake. I make I make quiche Lorraine. I mean, like I make these things myself when I want them, and I need flour to do that. He thought for a moment, and he actually sent us directly to a shop that specializes
In baking goods.
in baking supplies. You know, springform pans, molds, and all the ingredients that
All the
you need.
flavors. I mean,
Yeah. He doesn't know us. He spent
Nope.
10 minutes talking with us
at least.
and then sends us to this bakery shop that was like blocks away, but he knew where it was.
Mhm.
I just thought that was amazing.
Yep.
Would that happen in the United States? Probably not.
No.
Probably not. I don't think so. Oh, Arlene, Albert, loving working here in Mexico. He comes home after working 11 to 12 hours a day, but he's loving it. He says the people he works with are dope. He's happy. We are happy. That's awesome. That's awesome. And why? Probably because the work ethic is really good.
Uh-huh.
And,
And they have fun work. I mean,
yeah,
we've been in Airbnbs that have had construction projects going across the street or right next door, and you hear laughter and joking,
yeah,
and you can tell when they're picking on one of them, but they don't do it in a mean, malicious way. They do it, and all of a sudden everybody's laughing together.
yeah.
Talking about a chica or something, and you're just like, oh, they live their life to the fullest, and that's the part that we had lost. And coming back down here was like, yes,
We needed that.
Yeah.
It enriches your soul. I mean, you thrive on it. And yeah, Arlene, we are so much happier here with so much less stress. We wish we would have come here earlier.
Oh, that's right. We won't go into why they didn't.
Yes, but yes,
Yeah.
it's you thrive. You will flourish and thrive on
Mhm.
that community and being connected with your neighbors, making friends.
And they
It's
look
just
out
been
for you.
amazing.
I mean, it's your birthday. They're going to be like, we're having a party. Yeah, I mean, because any excuse for a party is a good one.
All right. Earth Wisdom. I have lived in Mexico for 4 years and I only spend $650 a month. That is absolutely amazing. And
Have you seen it going
yeah,
incrementally up?
that's a good question. Have you seen it go up the last couple of years? People can live on that. They can live on maybe even less than that. It really just all depends on what your needs are, How much space do you need? Do you need air conditioning? Do you need internet? I mean, all those
Do you
extra
need a full
things.
kitchen? Do you?
Right.
These are things that you're just like,
You
okay,
know, is
you
an
know,
efficiency apartment good enough? You know,
well,
all
that
those things.
that there's the wants and the needs,
Exactly.
you know, and I know us, our needs are the same as everybody else's, but our wants are a little.
We have some higher wants. It's kind of situated with the fact that we have an SUV
Yeah,
that's packed to the gills and a roof bag. So we need
and a job.
and a job.
Thank you. But yes,
But we need the space to put all that stuff as we move from place to place. Eventually, when we settle down, I mean, what we really want to have ideally is a place with 2 bedrooms and then some storage. Three?
nothing.
Oh, oh, yeah, 2 bedrooms and some storage. Why are you doing this?
Because in case somebody comes now, if the third bedroom is probably going to end up being storage. So that's why I'm
Okay,
saying
well,
three.
storage.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we need 2 bedrooms and some storage. And so, that's ideally what we want to get when we do rent. If we're in a place like Puebla, Querétaro, San Miguel, well, it won't be San Miguel, San Luis Potosi, we don't need to have air conditioning, but it would be nice.
if you're in Watuco, and that's not a choice, that's a need.
Yeah, I know. We don't need to have heat, but a space heater will do on the cold mornings.
Yeah, all you need
know.
is enough to take chill off.
There's needs and there's wants. That's what it comes down to. So
As it always does.
yeah, yeah. So while we're traveling and we're doing the Airbnbs, a definite need for us is secured parking
Yes.
because of all the stuff we have and moving it. And another thing that's a definite for us is we have to have a minimum of a queen mattress. A minimum. King is preferred. We have a queen here, and queen mattresses are slightly smaller in Mexico than they are in the United States.
It's tight.
They're almost a little bit bigger than a US version of a full size mattress. So, I always say there's 3 of us in our bed. There's me, him, and his full body pillow. And it gets pretty
Tight.
tight.
Yeah.
So again, we have needs and then we have wants. And
Yeah.
if we could live on less than $1,000 a month, that would be awesome. But not with Airbnb. But I'm really glad, Earth Wisdom, that you're doing it, and I know people can do it. We met Fred and Cindy when we were in Huatulco, and their rent was like the equivalent of about $500, maybe $550 a month for their rent, and it's gone up. It was less before COVID, and it's gone up for them too. And they had to refurbish the place they're renting. They paid for all that before they moved in. So it's definitely possible. It's just that it really just depends on what you want. And if you can live comfortably on less, then that's ideal. Oh, Mark just sort of disappeared. Hey, Cindy, how you doing, honey? Oh gosh, Greg, yes. If you look at countries to the south of Mexico, they all want between 1,000 and 1,500 a month. That's right. Yes, they do. This really, it's all about that formula that they used. Um, Ernie Baca, the retired Life Mexico No Bull, has mentioned. I don't remember the exact name of it, the little mnemonic they use, but there's this other formula that a lot of the Mexican government agencies are using now, and this other formula is not being used for consideration of income by INM. They're using the old formula. And that old formula now being based on minimum wage is what's making this really difficult. If they were to move to the other formula, it wouldn't be like this. It just,
No.
I can't remember what it's called, but
I can't either, but it would definitely drop the number down significantly.
So Jenny, let me go back here. So Jenny, that's your budget too. Good for you. Good for you. Excellent. I think it's easier to hit that budget if you are single because you don't need to have a bigger bed. You don't
Oh,
need to have multiple bedrooms. You're eating less food. So I think that's a really good number. And if you were to multiply that number by two and make it $1,300 a month, well, damn, that would be pretty awesome for the two of us.
yeah.
I mean, if we found a place to rent that was less than $800 a month, then you throw in our groceries, which run between 400 and 500, we'd be right there.
Yeah, but then you throw in the insurance and you
No,
throw
I
in the
know
car
that. I
insurance,
know.
and suddenly that number is back up to about 2 grand real quick.
Yeah, but
I'm just
if we were permanent residents, we wouldn't be having some of those expenses. So, just saying. Oh, let's see. Jet lag. Oh, the jet lag. So true. Positive attitude. Positive attitude. I don't even. It takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile.
my
You
mother
know.
always used to tell me that you get the opportunity to pick what day you're going to have. If you get out of bed in the morning and you go, it's going to be a shitty day today, you'd be amazed at how many times that happens to be accurate. But if you get out of bed in the morning and go, it's going to be a great day today,
Yeah.
be amazed how many times that becomes accurate. So you get to sort of plan your day. And I don't know about the rest of you, but for me, it's a whole lot more fun to have a positive and great day than a ugh.
Oh, Ant-Man, this is very good. When we got our temporary residency in Denver, they didn't like that our bank account was drained at the end of every month, even though we had the money to qualify. I had to show my business account, which had more money in it.
And there it goes. The
And
difference between the different
exactly,
consulates.
exactly. I mean, some are more strict than others. I mean, our consulate wanted signatures on our bank statements, and this is a story we've told before. But the bottom line is, a lot of banks won't do that. Banks won't do that. A lot of them won't. And Bank of America was one of them. They would not sign it. And we needed to have them signed. And we didn't have a CPA or any of those things. Well, as it turns out, it doesn't even matter who signs them. They just wanted them signed.
They're not
So,
going to, they didn't ask us, which branch did you go to? Who is this that signed it?
no. I
It
mean,
was signed.
we could have got the security guard. We could have got the janitor. Anybody could have signed
We
it.
could have gotten Joe Smith walking up the street right across from the consulate, and here's a
But
10.
but that was where we went. Now, if there is another consulate that is
They
also
also could be one that goes
they
who, what, when,
yeah,
where, and
another consulate might say, okay, this signature that's on here, who is this person? And they may actually call and verify. I don't know. But it because it's so different, it's so inconsistent.
everybody does it their own way
But
in the consulate
I'm
world.
sorry, that's like extra stress that you had to go through. But I'm glad you were able to recover from something like that. See, we don't need air conditioning in Ahihic. No,
Don't
it's
eat it
got
here either.
yeah.
I mean,
I don't, Querétaro this past summer had some hot days.
but that we also were told that was not the
It's not
exception, not
typical.
the rule.
You know what else matters too? A lot of these newer developments, apartments especially, they like to do the wall of glass. And if that sun is beating in on that wall
True.
of glass, it gets so hot. And like we're here in Puebla, and it only gets to about 77 or 78 degrees during the day, and it's in the high 40s at night. But we have 2 stories of glass, and the sun rises over here and hits this glass
About
until
9:30 in the morning, it starts to just
yeah, and it doesn't get off the glass until like
2.
1 or 2 in the afternoon. And so it gets really warm in here, and they actually have an air conditioning unit here if we need to use it. We've only used it a couple times.
Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah. And thank you, Cindy. Thank you. I got yes, and Tom. And Tom, thank you. Hola, Tom. How you doing tonight? Yes, I got a 3-year contract. Dude, I'm flying home this weekend.
See, she calls my mom home. I mean, it's like
She's great. She's mom. And she can't wait to see me.
I don't stand a chance. They team up on me now.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to try to say this word. I did not learn how to say this word. What did you both think of Biblioteca Palafoxiana? I hope
There
I
you
said that
go.
correct. Um, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
We have, let's see, the library in the museum next to Santo Domingo in Oaxaca was
Mm-hmm.
impressive, but not as big as this place. The library in the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina, had several levels to it, but it wasn't as big as this one. No, I don't
That'd
think
be
it was.
close because
Yeah.
I think the wall space would have probably been very close
Mm.
between the two because that one was short and narrow. Uh, the Biblioteca was, and Biltmore is wide, but it's so number of books it would have been.
I think this one has more.
Well,
My,
yeah, but you also have to realize they only put a third of the books out at the Biltmore.
but
2/3 of them are
it's
still in storage.
gorgeous.
It was
Oh,
gorgeous.
gorgeous, gorgeous. The hand carved wood. I don't know if it's cedar. It didn't smell like cedar, but
No,
the one at Santo Domingo was cedar.
you could tell that.
But that's just, it's also drier here too, so they wouldn't have to deal with as much humidity.
Mm.
But I don't know. The ornate wood carving and the three levels,
And then hiding the doors.
and then they hide the doors. I had to ask one of the docents, how do they get to the stairs to the next level? And he pointed them out. The doors are all hidden really well. It's such a cool place.
Yeah, it is.
Very cool. Um, I'm glad we went.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone wants to see this place, I think it was 45 pesos
45
each.
pesos a piece.
Yeah, 45 pesos each. And you can just, well, you can't touch stuff, obviously, but they let you take video, they let you take photos, no flash. Um, and yeah, I was impressed.
Mm-hmm.
So very cool. Very cool. Hey, Lena. Hola, girl. Oh, wait. Remember, today is a gift. That's why they call it present. That's
Yep.
right. That's right. Alfredo, we landed in Phoenix yesterday after a month in Mexico, and the darkness hit us as soon as we set foot on soil. People fighting and yelling, nobody smiling. We felt out of place. Oh, Alfredo. Uh, you know what? I'm going to find out. I'm going to be there this weekend. Fortunately, um, his mom is just amazing. And I'll probably get to spend time with his sister. Maybe. No?
They're in Stuttgart.
Oh, well, then I will not. That's right. They're in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. And me and his mom, we're gonna go hit the Costco, and we're gonna go hit the Lenny's.
I was fixing to say,
We're gonna
you're going to Lenny's.
Lenny's subs, and gonna go to the Hy-Vee, get some groceries.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be out in public. I'll get to see how miserable it is. Fortunately, she isn't watching regular TV or the news cycle, and she's got a VC box like we do now. So I get to help be her IT department and help her sort out some of her TV connectivity things.
Well, and then you get to watch basketball.
So
it doesn't matter whether you're here or you're there. I mean,
I could do without the basketball, but it's fun to watch her watch basketball because she gets very excited.
Oh, yeah.
I do have something interesting I'm going to try. I know online there is a really good tutorial or guide on how to set up a home IP address that you can use when you're out of the country so that it looks like you're working at home.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to get too super technical on that. I just don't have the brain power right now. And I'm working on videos and other things. And I'm just like, you know what? Just make it easy for me. I'll give you the money. Just make it easy for me. So I did order a box that basically is all set up, and it comes with a session with their support staff to get it set up. And it plugs into the router at her house, and when I plug into the other device in any country and around the world that's hitting a mobile hotspot or the Wi Fi wherever I'm at, this box then supplants the local IP and makes it look like it's the home IP. I didn't want to take chances with a VPN. Um, I used a VPN on my last job on the work laptop because I was able to install it.
Don't know that's going to be
I
the
don't
case.
know if I'll be able to do that. If they have this work laptop locked down with administrative rights and I can't install any software, then what? It's not worth the risk.
No,
So I got one of those home IP things, and I'm going to use that.
it was worth a $500 investment to go. Yeah, this
Yeah,
masks where we're at. So
yeah, absolutely. Nobody needs to know where I am, just as long as I'm doing a good job.
yep.
Um, Detron, oh, hola, welcome. Going to the consulate tomorrow for my son's temp residency. We'll see if anything has changed in 2 years since we got ours done. Okay, good. And let us know.
Cross fingers.
Let
Yep.
us know if it's the same consulate. It would be interesting to know if their process has changed or their requirements aside from the income. So thank you for letting us know that. Oh, here we go, Lana. I won't name the consulates, but I will say that I was denied at one, and then 2 months later accepted at another.
I mean, you really don't know if you
Yeah.
happen to walk in and the particular person that you may be talking to is really having a crappy day and just goes,
I mean,
you know what? To hell with all of you. And may
I
have just
mean,
may have just lived in the U.S. for too long and has gotten an attitude. But I mean,
you never know.
you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
it happened with us in South Dakota at the DMV. I swear, if we'd have got the woman that we had the third time, if we'd have got her the first visit there, we would have been golden.
Yeah. So you don't know what someone else
Yeah.
is going through that day and how they're projecting, or maybe that's just their policy. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. And the good thing, it could be bad, but the good thing is aside from the stress and being disheartened by the fact that you got rejected, you're only out a little bit of money for the application interview process itself.
But then you got to find a new consulate. And
Yeah, then you got to go do all the other stuff.
And God bless you, because the stress level. I mean, we have said this. The most stress that we felt the entire time was right up until, we thought, oh, this is going to be a breeze, da 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 da. Then all of a sudden,
it was the appointment.
Yeah. This is our final hurdle.
Yeah.
We screw this up. And then what do we do? Because we had everything worked out, timeline.
We even had in our back pocket.
Yeah, we did.
Appointments for McAllen.
Yeah, we had that backup.
We had it as a backup. It was, I made the appointments. I got them first. And I'm like, okay, this is our backup. We're still going to try Kansas City. And if it doesn't work out, we'll hit McAllen. And I ended up not having to, we ended up not having to use McAllen. So I was able to release those appointments, and hopefully somebody was able to pick them up and use them. So all the difference in the world on where you go and who you get.
I mean, that the last person we got at the DMV in Sioux Falls, when her first words were, "Let's see what we can do to get you help," yes. I was like, hallelujah, we are taken care of.
What a difference.
She was like, we're going to get you taken care of. Thank you.
Yeah, what a difference, right? Personality, it just makes such a difference in how the rest of everything goes. Thank you, Lena. Yes, I'm excited. 3-year contract. Woo woo.
Hola, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse. Oh, Sleepy Joe, what we got? My wife just got her visa today. Yay, yay! Congratulations. Next tip, Ron, I'm going to introduce her to McAllen, Texas. Should be an eye-opening experience since she don't speak a lick of English. Oh, wow. Can't wait. Okay.
Hey, it's a lot better in dealing with immigration coming in if you speak Spanish and no English than it was when we hit the border and some of us thought we could speak Spanish and quickly realized, oh, no.
Can I just say something for a moment?
You can.
We are not flashing.
I know.
There's no disco police lights, none of that. And that green light back there looks pretty darn good, Mark.
I know.
It looks nice. Our color looks good tonight, and we're not flashing. So last time we did it live, it looked like we were going to jail. It was so bad. What I found out was that there was it a firmware?
Yes, you
or
did
a software. There was
you did the firmware update.
I had to do an update. I mean, I literally uninstalled something, reinstalled
the camera software, and then reinstall.
Yeah, I had to uninstall, reinstall, and it did some kind of update. And thank you, it's fixed. I'm so happy.
I'm sure it's got to be easier.
Marvelous tonight.
It's got to be easier for you guys to watch without that.
I know. Oh, it just looks so unprofessional. Michelle, hola Michelle. Are you both liking the VC box? Yes, very much so.
Yes.
I have one complaint. And I'm so sad about it. I was very behind on Days of Our Lives. VC Box does have under the Ultra application a lot of the premium streaming services that you normally would have to pay for. And one of those was Peacock. And Peacock, I would go there to watch Days of Our Lives. And I was behind. My fault, I'm behind. And they had 3 years of Days of Our Lives available. So I was on the third, the most oldest year. And I was working my way through, and I'm halfway through the year, almost into June. And then I log on, and it's gone.
Now, she doesn't know if that's VC Box or if that was Peacock.
It's probably Peacock
probably
that did
Peacock.
It's probably Peacock because they're closing in probably on another season, and they had to kick out the old. But darn it all, man! Now I'm 6 months lost, and there's people on there that aren't who they're supposed to be, and I'm so confused. And I've been watching Days of Our Lives for like 45 years, so it's like family.
and it seems like once a month now, somebody's from the Days family is muerto.
Yeah, they're all dying.
I mean, the original Roman died.
But VC Box. Oh yeah, that's right. The original actors are just like dying off now.
I wasn't talking about on the show.
No,
that's normal. I'm talking about the old actors.
Yeah, the actual actors are dying off. It's because, I mean, come on. They've been on the soap for 45 years or more, some of them. So,
but no, VC Box. I mean, I do not miss a game
ever. He doesn't miss any game, and he gets NFL Red Zone, which typically you need to have like ESPN Plus or something.
No,
like
you
that.
got to have the NFL Network.
Oh,
the
yeah.
NFL package, which is not cheap. And here's an example of savings. Is every year since we've been down here, I have bought the MLB package so I could watch my Braves, and that was $129 dollars a year, which comes out to about 75 cents a game. Which, okay, you know what? I don't miss my Braves game, so it was 75 cents. Yeah, was doing that. This year, don't have to do that. So that's $130 that we don't have to spend. So
I went through and looked for every show that I watched on every streaming service that we had, and everything was on there. I got rid of Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Criterion, and there's another one I can't think of right now. Yeah, we had that many streaming services,
and I can tell you,
got rid of them all.
I have yet to stump it on either a TV series I mean, you can pull up some really bad off the wall TV series or movies, and they're there. So I mean,
I
it's
love bad movies so much. And I use this as an example. Roger Daltrey, lead singer for The Who, um, thinks of himself as somewhat of an actor. Um, and in the mid 70s, when he really started doing his acting career, he was pretty awful. Every one of his movies is on there. I mean, The Legacy, Litztomania, McVicker. I know I'm missing one. Tommy. I mean, I'm missing a bunch, but
no. I mean, but we have not yet found a movie to stump it. So
The Apple. Have you guys? One of the worst musicals that has ever existed was on there. I watched that one night. It's crazy, but there's a lot of great movies. There's like 30,000 movies on
30
there.
over 37,000 movies.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's good. And only occasionally have I found that it might not sync up and load a movie. Very rarely, though.
And normally when like that'll happen, and sometimes it happens to me with like watching hockey, and it's horrible. But when they're talking about something 4 seconds behind what I'm seeing occur, and normally if I go back out and then go back in, it syncs back up, and it's good. So, and I'm going, remember what you pay for it, Mark. Okay, yeah, we're good.
Debbie, tell me what VPN you have on your phone, because I also have a VPN on my phone, and it works for like I've only really tried it with like email and some things like that. It does not work for GPS location based games. Um, like for example, Pokemon Go. If I have my VPN turned on my phone, Pokemon Go knows it and it won't load. So there's like I'm just curious what you're using. Um, but yeah, I can watch stuff as well when I had the apps, the streaming services that I don't have anymore. So
Yeah, now we just go to the box. And,
yeah,
and quite honestly, if when it's time to settle down and there's a bedroom and a TV in the bedroom,
yeah,
it'd be a heck of a lot cheaper to go. We're buying a separate box and just putting one box
yeah,
there and one box there. I mean,
yeah. That's just it. You can't share the
you
box.
can't share the box. I mean, well, we could unplug it and move it every night if we wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not big. It's not hard to do.
No, I
And
mean it's like the size of a phone.
yeah, it's about the size of a phone.
Yeah.
And so, if you just left the HDMI cable plugged into the back of the TV, where all you had to do is walk up, plug it into the wall, plug the HDMI cable in, and it knows who you are,
Yeah.
and it knows what you like. I'm watching some old series, and I have not watched any of it since we've been in Puebla. And today I had a little time, so I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna knock out a few more episodes. So 4 weeks later, popped it on, went to the episode, pulled it up, pulled season 2 up, and it went, you've already watched these. This is your next one. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, it stored our
Yeah.
watch history. So that's good. Oh, Jesse, what happened at the South Dakota DMV? Okay. At the time we did this, South Dakota only required a 24-hour residency
Correct.
to apply for and get your South Dakota driver's license.
Correct. To become a legal resident of the state of South Dakota.
And your address could be a hotel, an Airbnb, whatever it was.
Whatever it was.
But you had to have been there for at least 24 hours.
And the address that you supplied the hotel
Yes.
had to match the address of a bill that you have. Now, that bill could be the address of the mailing service that you're using. So you're now walking in with 2 bills
Yeah.
that have the same address on them.
So we had traveling mailbox already for about 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and we were using it. And we went to the DMV and trying to think what the first thing was. We were given the wrong forms to complete was one
Correct.
thing.
Correct.
We were given the wrong forms to complete when we went in. We had made an appointment, by the way. We made an appointment so that we could skip through the fast line and not have to wait on the slow line. So that was the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened was we got to the counter. No, it had to be
We needed a form. We
we,
needed a form.
we needed a form, and it
We
had to
needed-
be notarized.
We needed a form, and then we called traveling mailbox, and they went, well, this is the only form that we have.
That's right.
And
It was basically a contract.
Right. And
They
so,
needed a
and so
contract.
we had to go and find, because it was an early morning appointment, and we had to go to a UPS store and get the email address, and or no,
We had to get the form printed
get the
out,
form printed out,
get it
and
notarized.
then get it notarized there at the UPS store.
So then we go back.
So then we go back to the South Dakota DMV.
So they push us through, and we get to the counter.
So one thing, if you're going to go there, get an appointment, because
Yeah.
when you return back, you go to the head of the line.
Yeah.
And so that made things infinitely easier, because there were a fair number of people who were just sitting there waiting. And every time we walk back in, oh, you're back. You have an appointment here. Go, you're the next one, next available counter.
So we get up to the counter, and this particular woman was like one of those people that was having one of those days where whatever was going on with her personally, she was projecting.
Her resting bitch face was evident.
Yeah. And it was bad enough that she, number one, rejected traveling mailbox as an address, and basically pulled out this sheet of paper and said it was not on the approved list, but won't share which of these mail forwarding services were approved. So we're standing, I mean, we've got to get this done. I'm supposed to be back at work. I had taken the morning off, and I was supposed to be back at work at the hotel room. Now this is trip number 2, and she's denying us and saying we can't use our mail forwarding service to get this driver's license.
So the two of us are now sitting in the parking lot at the South Dakota DMV, or Department of Public Vehicles, what DPV, I think they call it up there, but whatever. We're sitting there and
on cell phones,
and we're frantically working, both of us at the same time, trying to find alternatives.
Yeah.
And finally I came across Dakota Post, and I get on the phone and I called Dakota Post, and I said, look, here's the situation, and they went, Mr. Anderson, come right over.
Yeah.
We'll get you taken care of.
And they did.
And
the short answer is they did.
I cannot
Yeah.
praise the customer service level at Dakota Post enough. They were phenomenal, because we got there. They even caught the details we didn't.
They got our address changed.
They're sitting in there going, what address did you give the hotel? Well, we gave them the one from the other. They went, hold on. And so,
we had to call the
hotel,
give them a new address,
and
get a new bill faxed.
Here's the fax number for Dakota Post. Dakota Post was like, tell them to fax it to here. Boom, 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 boom. They faxed it over 30 minutes later, and then we're driving back to the DMV for the third one. And we got about a mile and a half, and I didn't even need GPS by now, because I knew where the damn place was at. And so we're driving back, and the phone rings. Yes, Mr. Anderson. Yeah. There's one form we forgot to get you to sign. Yeah, what's one more trip? Come on, we're heading right back. We'll be there in a couple minutes. And so we turned around, and there was one thing that we had forgotten to sign, and they caught it. We weren't really more than a mile away. Went back, got that signed, went back into DMV for the third time.
Mm-hmm.
And they, again, oh, you're back. Okay, good. Next available one. And then we walked up the counter, and when she goes, let's see what we can do to get you taken care of, I was like,
difference in attitude.
We are golden.
Yeah. I mean, that's the difference between the second woman we had at the counter and the last woman we had at the counter. One was just very uncooperative, wouldn't share information with us to help us figure out what service we needed to go get. And then the third one was very helpful. And even then, she realized that we were given the wrong form on the first trip
And she went,
She
can you fill this out
she
here?
took care of it.
You know,
She got us the right form.
she filled it out and goes, I just need you guys to sign this.
Yeah.
You know, and she actually filled it out for us and I just need a signature, boom, boom. Because we handed it to her. Oh, God. I don't know why they're still giving this out. This has been gone for a while. So, you know, we were like, whatever,
you know,
thank you. You know,
but that's the whole thing. It was a very the morning off work turned into pretty
damn
much
near the whole day.
almost the whole day.
Because then we had to go get the tags, which
Yeah.
meant we had to go pay the county taxes
Yeah.
at the Minnehaha tax assessor office. And then that went fairly smoothly until we realized we were missing one piece of information that was still in the car.
Oh yeah.
And Gina's standing in line and I'm going, I'm playing OJ Simpson, you know, like running through the airport, running my ass out to the car going, oh God, you know, I'm getting it. And it's like, oh shit, where is it? Da, 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 da. Oh, there it is. And, you know, walk back in. And as I was walking in, she was walking right up to the counter and
it worked out.
It did.
It did. So we ended up with 2 mail forwarding services only because we had to get the second one to meet the needs for the DMV. The Dakota Post one, the second one we got, their customer service was exceptional, and they are based in South Dakota. They know exactly what the laws are for South Dakota.
I have talked to them.
Yeah.
After that, and gone, hey, what's the latest with South Dakota and the people, the nomads who are using it, and they were very quick to go, here's what's going on, here's what we know, we're working with these people, da 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 da. So if it were me and we had to do this again, I would start with Dakota Post, get it done through Dakota Post, and then go, all right, now we can shop.
Yeah.
For a lesser expensive mail service.
Yeah.
But as far as peace of mind, if you're going to go to South Dakota, if you're going to Sioux Falls, do yourself a favor.
Yeah. No, they know what they're doing. They know every detail of how it needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
You are not going to fail using them.
And they are friendly as all get out.
With the 2 services that we had, though, we already had traveling mailbox for 6 months, and I was happy with it. But the difference between the 2 is that traveling mailbox is based pretty much in, I want to say, North Carolina, and they have all these pseudo addresses all over the United States that you can pick from. I don't think they're doing South Dakota anymore right now. And maybe it's because of this whole thing that people were running into issues with stuff. And, you know, maybe they didn't grease enough hands to get in with the DMV. I don't know what. But, you know, because traveling mailbox is located in one state with all these external mailbox addresses that you can use all over the country, and their customer service is pretty much by phone, it's all virtual. You know, if you need that extra attention, and you're not going to go wrong with Dakota Post because you're going to get a human on the phone. They're right there. They're in the state. They know the laws. They even have a physical building that if you wanted to, you could walk up to their building and go pick up your mail yourself if that's what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
We dropped Dakota Post because we already had traveling mailbox and it was meeting our needs. But the least expensive account for Dakota Post cost more than the prime account that we had with traveling mailbox. You know, with traveling mailbox, they will open, they would scan, I would get PDFs, they would, you know, they gave us a fax number we could use for incoming and outgoing faxes, and, you know,
and you can get all that at Dakota Post, but the
price, but it costs more, right? You know, we had the least expensive plan with Dakota Post just to meet the needs for our driver's license. Which meant that they wouldn't open and scan our mail. We would just get mail, and they would tell us we got mail, and we see the front of the envelope, and then we would have to ask them to forward it.
Or open it and scan it.
And if we asked them to open and scan it, there was a fee for that. You know, there was all these little fees. And so I was just like, you know what? We don't need it. I'm happy with traveling mailbox. This is working. And I even learned how to get a check in the mail. Now, traveling mailbox will offer to mail deposit checks for you. But I just take the PDF file of the scanned check. I use an image editing program. I trim it all up real nice. I put a big black border around it. I put my signature superimposed over the back of it for the back image. And I just take a picture on my computer and do a deposit in the bank, and the bank takes it. I mean, I've done pretty big checks like that.
Pretty big checks.
So I don't. Anyway, I know that was a lot. That was a lot. So there you go, Jesse. Sorry.
You asked.
Yeah, I know. We went on a tangent. Alana, I'm lucky I'm in a region where there are multiple consulates at a fairly reasonable distance. Yes.
That helps.
That helps a lot, especially if you have to go through more than one. I knew you were going to come up with this question, Papa. I knew this. How are your video files named when you upload them to YouTube? I recently learned that it has a significant impact on searches. And it's like, yeah, I learned that too. Probably about, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. And it does have a huge impact, I guess, because stuff is happening now. I would have never thought that. So for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, YouTube has SEO search words. The best way to get eyes on your video is if you just go to YouTube and do a search for something that you're interested in learning about.
For those of you who are like me, SEO, search engine optimization.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay.
She gets going, and it's like I supply the dumb part of it. So
good job, honey.
Yeah.
YouTube is a huge search engine. I mean, when you do a search, and it's now part of Google. So, Google is a huge search engine, as is YouTube. So if you were interested in a video, you go to YouTube and you type whatever you're looking for, right? Those keywords need to be associated with videos in order for those videos to pop up for that person's search. If a person is searching for, I don't know.
All right.
Whatever.
We can give you our latest success story, which is 34,000 views in less than a month. So
why did we do this video first? We did this video. It's the semi-political one. We did that video because the election results had just happened. And I saw a lot of people basically saying, that's it. I'm done.
This was a breakfast conversation between the two of us, and it was like,
I'm moving to Mexico. I mean, I was seeing this all over the place. All the expat groups and yada, yada, yada on Facebook. How much does it cost to come to Mexico? I mean, all these people were saying this, and I'm like, we were talking. This would be a good opportunity to introduce new viewers to our residency preparation videos that we did. No matter how embarrassing they are to look at today,
oh God, we hate
they
them.
still have good information in them. So we thought this would be a good way to get good eyes on them. So we sat down and did this video about people being angry.
15 minutes of what drove us to Mexico was the anger.
It was the anger.
And the amazing part, just to go on a little tangent before we do this, amazing part was we have gotten a lot of response back from both sides of the border.
Most of it good.
Oh, overwhelmingly.
Some of it very troll-like.
But some of them have proven the anger part. And one of them wanted to keep fighting. And I finally went, thank you. We rest our case. You have proven our point. Because it was like, well, no, it's all them that are mad. And it was like, dude, or ma'am, whoever it was so pissed that how can you include us? Well, excuse me, but you're angry. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. I don't care if you're right. You're angry.
You're angry. So there it is. And I thought to myself, what is driving people to be upset right now? Well, what's driving them is
No,
Republican, Democrat, Biden, Trump,
Harris,
Harris, Walls. Um, and I
Vance.
put those terms in there, right? Um, I use those terms. I put those in as keywords. I also put in words like uh, Americans moving to Mexico. Um, I don't even know. There was a bunch of words like that, phrases, things that people might search. And the thumbnail isn't even us,
Nope.
but it's a very emotive
Mm-hmm.
thumbnail. It's got two people that are screaming at each other. And I said, this is going to get eyes. And it did. And because I used those political terms, we got a lot of political feedback.
And
Yeah.
it keeps, but it keeps, it as of today, before we came on, it's still getting over 2,000 views a day.
But
So, I mean,
but in this example, if I was to do a video on how to make sourdough English muffins, but I put in key phrases like banana pudding, and people are looking for banana pudding, and this video pops up and it's about sourdough English muffins, they're not going to watch it.
nope.
And if they're looking for sourdough English muffins, and I have content about banana pudding, it's the same thing. So the idea is to
Narrow it down.
figure out what people are looking for and put those words into those key phrases so that when they do a search, it pulls them up.
Yep.
And so he's talking here about what are the names of the files. Well, I don't know if this just broke wind like 6 months ago or less. I'm not sure. But suddenly everybody's making videos on YouTube about, did you know that you need to do this, naming your videos? Like, no. I mean, that was news to me.
Somebody shared.
Somebody figured it out. I don't know. So initially, the videos prior to about 6 months ago were just named something stupid like Airbnb.
Tux Gutierrez.
Yeah.
I mean,
or whatever short word it was. The thumbnails would just be called thumb. Just the picture that you say thumb. Um, it was stuff like that. And so once I started calling the video by name, exactly what the video was about, I think that improves. And that's what everyone is saying. It improves the viewership for the video. So if I put out a video about our Puebla Airbnb, it's going to have a name. The name of the actual video file is going to be Airbnb tour Puebla, Mexico, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. And the same name will be on the thumbnail, and the same name will be on the closed caption file. I mean, they'll all have that same name. And as much as I pump that in there, I'm hoping that, that will link that type of search to that content.
And the key other part of that is you can really try and game the system and use the clickbait, but you only get to get away with that a couple times, and before people start going,
well, here's a really good example. You want to get eyes on your video, and you're doing a travel video about Mexico, and you're new. So in your search tags, you throw in phrases like Tangerine Travels, Jose Arteaga,
La Karencita, another one.
Yeah. You throw in names of other YouTubers who have an audience, and it could draw attention to your videos. Now, I don't really do that, but I just think.
But we know.
But people do.
We've seen that done.
Yeah. So there's ways to use words, using the words.
Yes.
Saludos, Ambrose. Williams, California. Awesome. Oh, there you go. See, Yeah, see, so what we were just saying, when you started naming the files, you saw a significant view increase. Yeah, I think that that's got some to do with it, maybe. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. It is depressing in the US now. Make sure to renew your passport ASAP to get out of Dodge if needed. I just did. I have my PR, yes, in
Yep.
Mexico. I wish I was there now. Hey, Tom.
Tommy, you know you always got a spot here,
That's
Bubba.
right. That's right. Thank you, Jesse, about the contract. Yes, I'm excited. And yes, I did. Yes, I did hear that Britney Spears has moved to Baja California, sir. Yes,
You know,
she
she's
has.
going to go be Sammy's neighbor.
Yeah.
I mean, Sammy Hagar lives, Sammy figured this out decades ago
Yeah.
that, his best life, well, when you're as successful as Sammy is, both, musically and business wise, Sammy figured out, hey, I'm going to Cabo San Lucas. I'm buying a spot, overlooking the ocean, and I'm living a good life. And you know what? The man was right.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
Okay, so Sleepy Joe says he told you to get DAZN while we're in Mexico. So $25 a month is cool, but here's the thing: we don't have to pay anything now.
I pay nothing.
We don't pay anything.
Nothing.
We bought a VC box, and all the games are on there.
Yep.
And there's no monthly fee.
Zero.
Well, we didn't buy it. Sorry, somebody gifted it to us, but
a subscriber of ours, Rick, who was planning on waiting a little bit, and I sort of put the burr under his saddle, and now that he actually texted me the other day with a picture of the new requirements, and he goes, "Holy shit, I wouldn't have qualified. Thank you."
Yeah.
And so it was like, so. And his way of saying thank you was, he was like, he found this VC box and he bought it and sent it to us. And it was like, holy, and as soon as I saw it, I told my mom, I said, you will never miss a basketball game again. And it took her about, I don't know, a nanosecond. And she was
it's
like,
incredible.
Boom.
The biggest issue we have right now is who gets to watch the TV.
Which before, literally, we could go a whole stay. Months and the TV would never even go on.
We never really did. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV anyway, even when I have the streaming services, because I'd be working on the computer and I'm busy, so I'm not going to be watching anything when I'm working. So he would watch stuff on his laptop, mostly sports. But now we got this VC box, and we're falling into that rabbit hole again.
Yeah. No, but we really don't watch the news, though.
No, we don't.
That's just don't watch news. That just brings back bad shit.
Oh, Debbie, worst movie, Spinal Tap, but you turn it up to 11.
Turn it up to 11.
You turn it up to 11, Debbie.
Oh, I can think of worse movies.
Oh, I can think of some worse movies too. It's bad, but there's some pretty bad.
You really want to see a bad one? If you want to watch a train wreck that you can't take your eyes off.
Oh God, you're going to go to 420, aren't you?
420 Massacre.
420 Massacre is so bad.
It came on. It came on. I mean, late one night. I can't remember what channel it was on. It was one of those that we had, with our cable service back in the States, and one of the free, Cinemax or HBO or whatever. And so it came on, and both of us were getting ready to go to sleep, and both of us sat there and watched this
like
from
a couple of zombies. Like, what's wrong with us?
It
was awful.
Oh my God.
Spinal Tap has its moments. It can be funny, but you got to turn it up to 11, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. See, Spinal Tap is greatness. Hey, you know what? There's a movie that is a cult classic that all men of his age would absolutely say is greatness. And heavy metal. I don't get it. I like the soundtrack, but all I see is a bunch of boobies.
Well, that's all it was.
Just a bunch of boobies.
And at my age, at that point, it was like,
I the worst part of heavy metal for me is it's all these short stories
They don't make any sense.
And somehow they're all connected, but yet there's no flow, and I don't get the connection.
No, you go there to watch boobies and music. Okay,
I mean, the music's good.
it's
I watched it because I always wanted to, and I finally did. And I was like, why?
you know,
Why did I watch
2
this?
hours of your life you'll never get back.
There was another one too I watched that again I was like, why? I think it was Fritz the Cat. I don't know. Bad movies.
Yeah, it was.
ExpressVPN. Okay. We have Surfshark, and Surfshark, I believe, was purchased by Nordic. I've actually looked at potentially changing our VPN, but I had paid for like 2 or 3 years in a discounted package, and we're not due till like May or June or something.
Then we'll shop again.
We'll shop again. And hey, Debbie, Pokemon Go. You have Pokemon Go? Pokemon Go. Well, darn it, you need to give me your name. Somehow we can be friends or something. My friends are slacking. They're not doing their stuff. And Debbie, worse in the best possible way. Okay, so if Mark's mother has a computer that is always on, install a VPN host on it. I know I've heard this before, and I don't think she does.
No.
And she's 80 some years old, and I don't want her to try to figure out and be IT department. I mean, she knows what she knows, and she struggles with the rest. So
this plugs
takes,
right into her router, and she's off the hook.
Yeah, this was the easiest thing to do. It's 2 boxes. One plugs into her router. The service support people get it all configured. The other one I plug into my computer no matter where I'm at, and it looks like I'm in
Bing Bang Boom and
Kansas City. IP.
She's sitting at mom's house. So
and of course because it is what it is, I could have really super great speeds someplace, but if her speed is only 50 megs, that's all I'm going to have. But I only need it for work, and that's it.
And my mom still travels. I mean, she's 84.
And she does. Sometimes she's not even home.
Yeah, I mean, she goes to the beach for a month, and so this way she didn't have to sweat it. She didn't have to worry about it. She can do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to think about ways I could do this. We don't really have anybody in the United States that can just babysit our IP address
and
for us.
the advantage with hers is her community is Lenexa, Kansas is totally underground.
The wire
electricity. Yeah. She almost never loses electricity, so that's a big plus.
Yeah, let's see. So it sounds like y'all would recommend Dakota Post. We would
for the first year, absolutely. If you're going to move
for that service,
yes. If you're going to
get a driver's license, yes, Dakota Post.
Yes, I would say you do Dakota Post, and at the end of the year, you go, yeah, I like what they're doing. You can keep them, and if they fit within your budget and everything,
I just felt that they were expensive.
They were more expensive, but they're more hands-on.
Yes,
and they are. They are only a phone call away.
Yeah, I mean, their customer support is awesome, but you pay for that.
Yes.
So I didn't really need. All we needed them for was to get the driver's license, and once we had it, I went straight online like a month or 2 later and changed the address to traveling mailbox.
Yep.
So I was like, we don't really need this anymore. We don't need 2. And I'm getting all this service from traveling mailbox, and it's working for us. But at that moment in time,
we were like, we need somebody who's going to get us a driver's license today.
Yeah.
And they did not bat an eye. They stepped right up to the plate and hit a home run.
So they just cost more. I mean, I was going to do a video at one time, and I had calculated pieces of mail per month between both of them. And it was just astronomical to me how much more money we would spend using Dakota Post as a permanent mail forwarding service. But I will never talk badly about their customer service. The fact that they helped us, they are very efficient, and they do this all the time. And there's something to be said about them being in South Dakota and knowing South Dakota's laws and how this works.
And they keep up on it.
Yeah.
I mean, they really do. And when you walk into their facility, you actually see all the different mailboxes are back there. They have them all, labeled and binned, and there's people back there, and they got the conveyors bringing the mail in and everything.
When they have bad weather, they will send out an email letting people know that their hours are only going to be this today, or there won't be any service today because of bad weather. I mean, come on, South Dakota is going to get some snow and stuff, right? But they're very proactive, and they're very customer supportive, and you would not go wrong with them. It's just a matter of whether you're willing to spend the extra money.
But if you go, I want a smooth transition. If you go, I'm going to be in Sioux Falls for 2 days, use Dakota Post. I mean, I'm serious. Just they'll steer you right, and they'll get you taken care of. So,
all right, Tom. What? I believe in La Paz, you don't even have to take a physical driver's test. Just present your U.S. or Canadian license, and they will actually hand it to you. I might take a trip there just for that.
I've heard the same thing. I think Brighton did a video on that. Almost retired in Mexico.
Hey, hold on now. Parallel parking is so easy. You just back in. I would never parallel park by backing in for the longest time. I always wanted to do the nose in.
And that's harder.
And I did okay. But once I got used to doing the back in,
never go back.
Never go back. Nope. Yeah. You live out in the country, you typically don't need to parallel park, but Hey, Quito. Hola. Tammy and Kevin. Hey, and Techies. All right. Hope you have a great week. I have used Traveling Mailbox for 12 years. So far, so good with them. Yes, they are headquartered in Sanford, North Carolina. Yeah. I'm starting to question how the mail forwarding actually works with them. I knew that packages had to go to Sanford for processing. But when they get my mail and they scan it, and I ask them, they open it and they scan it for me, and then I make a decision that I want them to forward it to me, it ships out of Sanford as well.
I think that if we want to, our supposition on this is that these are small offices in all of these satellites that Traveling Mailbox has around the United States, and that they have a daily shipment that goes to Sanford, and then Sanford takes care of the individual shipments out.
Yeah.
That they are the hub, and all the other satellites ship to the hub, and then Sanford distributes it from there.
But I personally feel overall, no matter what city you get it in, I feel the Traveling Mailbox gives you the most bang for the buck. It just happens to be that the particular issue we had in South Dakota,
and couldn't help us with,
and getting our driver's licenses there, that became an issue. And it may not have been an issue if we had lady number 3. If lady number 3 had been the first person we dealt with,
it's possible.
It's possible, But
Dakota Post knew exactly what we needed, how we needed it, and what form we needed it in. So
we will say a subscriber did tell us that he used Traveling Mailbox to get his driver's license in South Dakota, and they did give him a hard time, but they did
eventually concede that.
Yes.
Okay, boom.
Yes. Oh, hey, thank you, Bruno. Thank you. Yes, I'm so excited. Spinal Tap is so good. Classic, like Blazing Saddles and Monty Python. Yeah. There's so many cool lines from Spinal Tap. How about like Stonehenge, right? With the little fairies.
All right, hold on. But you're missing the all-time classic there.
Young Frankenstein.
And
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. For quotes, Caddyshack is
Caddyshack.
I mean, it's just like Caddyshack is the best.
Cindy Williams' Spaceship. They had an alien singing like Sinatra and wanting to eat their face. I don't think I've seen this. Oh my gosh, I need to look this up.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, you know,
I
I
know.
love bad movies, man. Bad movies. You two are allowed to watch American sports and soap operas in English, but you better start watching telenovelas. Deportes. This is your homework. No slacking. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. They talk so fast on the telenovelas. Telenovelas are really fast.
Well, yeah, because they're passionate.
They're very passionate.
If I want to hear it fast, all I got to do is get Cindy from Denise from Expat Spanish, get her going, and then all of a sudden the pace just goes. And it's like,
Last night on, I think it was Plexi or Plexa TV. It's free movies, but you got to sit through an annoying 2 minutes of commercials like every 10 minutes or something. But it was free. And I was laying in bed and I'm like, yeah, why not? I watched Labyrinth um, over the span of two nights. I had never seen Labyrinth with David Bowie. It was one of those movies I never had an interest in seeing. I liked The Dark Crystal, but Labyrinth was not on my list. But I watched it, finally got to see it. Then I watched Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeve. It had been decades since I seen that, and I was like, yeah, why not? And then I almost watched one of the best horrible, awful movies ever made, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
that always does tend to make everybody's that and was it Planet Nine
Oh,
or
Manos, Hands of Fate.
no.
No. I like sitting there like Mystery Science Theater 3000 and just watching movies and just doing commentary and stuff. It's so fun.
Hey, whatever floats.
420 Massacre, honey.
Oh God,
That was a bad movie. God, I can't believe we watched it.
twice. Because it came back on, and we were like, "All right, hold on.
Wait.
Did we really miss something?
Did we
Because we
miss
were
some-
tired the
we were like,
first
what?
time."
Did we miss something here? We got to watch it again.
No, we
We-
did not miss
We
anything.
couldn't believe how bad it was.
It
But
was
it was
literally watching a train wreck.
it was too funny. Oh my gosh. But yeah, what the Apple. Um, I remember watching the Apple on HBO when I was a kid. It's bad. It is so bad. But the female star of the Apple is the original Kayla Brady on Days of Our Lives. And I remember she was also in Night of the Comet, a movie I do happen to love. It's a good zombie movie. And so the Apple was horrible. It is just so bad, so bad. But it's got some catchy music in it. So I had to watch it. It had been so long since I seen it. Um, does the VC box have local US stations? Yes.
Oh yes, it is amazing
It
how
has
many. I mean, when we first got it, I actually turned on KDKA from Pittsburgh, and she was just like, "Huh." I mean, and not only does it have KDKA, it has WPXI, it has
WTAE,
WTAE,
and that's just Pittsburgh
that,
market.
I mean,
You know,
if it's and not even just major markets, it's got like Cheyenne, Wyoming, it's got Bismarck, North Dakota.
yeah.
I mean, it's got all the news stations,
And it's
and
got some Canadian as well.
yes, it does have some Canadian.
No,
I don't know
no British. There's no British stations, so there's no BBCs or anything like that. Sky, none of that. But you can find a lot of British programming in one of the apps inside.
Yes, and if you're looking for British sports, yes. I mean, it's got cricket, it's got snooker, it's got darts, it's got all. I mean, you just start going, huh? You know, the list just goes on and on and on.
Yes.
And is it legal?
It's an Android box. So it's not a television type, cable type box. It's an Android box. It may only last for 6 months and they may shoot it down. It may last a year. I mean, we don't know, but the amount of money we save having it right now makes it worthwhile.
We're already in the black.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just and the person who sent it to us, I know him, and he did a lot of research, and from what he understood was that the FCC, because of the nature of the app, is going to have a very hard time shutting them down. And again, the experience with I used to watch Stream East. It took the government about 2+ years to shut down Stream East.
Oh yeah.
And it took Stream East about 2 weeks to be back up and running, because what Stream East did, and if maybe you aren't familiar, Stream East does sports. What they did was they already had 400 domain names. And what happened was the Southern District in Louisiana went in, filed an injunction against them, shut them down, and they actually shut down these 8 particular domains that they were using, because that's all they could do, because they weren't using the other 392. And so StreamEast stopped for 2 weeks, opened up the others, and now they have to start a brand new case. And it's like,
so Keto, essentially, I think they're very gray. I think they're very gray, but I think Expat TV and all these other services are also very gray. Because how can you possibly have all these streaming services programming? Like I can get all of the Star Wars and the Marvels and the Star Treks and everything, like stuff from Disney and Paramount. I can get, Outlander, which I think is Stars and Hulu. I can get Sweet Tooth, which is Netflix. I mean, there's all these programming options that come from streaming services that you typically have to pay for. And yet they're on these services. They're on Expat TV. They're on VC Box. There's other ones too. There's so many of them now. I think they're all gray, all of them. And I think they're using this loophole exactly as he had described earlier. They're not cable boxes. They're not FCC controlled. It's an Android type device. And it's all gray. The difference between this and one of those other services is once you buy this box, you're done. And there's no monthly fee.
No recurring monies.
Right. So again, it could last 6 months. Maybe it could last a year. Maybe it could last longer. It's worth it. By the time we're 6 months in, we've saved enough that we're ahead. We're in the black. So it works, and we're using it.
Oh yeah.
And oh God, Ride Through Mexico. Right, Night of the Comet. I love this movie. I like zombie movies anyway. I love this movie. It is such a good movie. You don't know it, do you?
No.
Okay, comet goes through the air one night, and anybody who was basically protected from the fallout or radiation or whatever was coming from this comet is normal. And a lot of people have been turned to dust. But there are some people that are kind of like in a zombie state. So they're very like, no, it's a great movie. I'm sorry. It's a great 80s movie. So, Tom, I can't tell you both how excited I am to see you in SMA in January. And I see how many of other YouTube channels are joining in. Everyone here should try to make it. Yes.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Next on the list of things that we did need to bring up.
Yeah.
January 25th. See, hey, I got that one right. Ernie's, I was screwing it all up the other night. January the 25th in San Miguel de Allende. We've got what, 8?
Well, let me tell you who's on board for sure.
Mention Papal first because he's on here.
Okay, well,
I'm just saying.
Papal got a GoPro. Retired Life Mexico. Retired Life Mexico No Bull.
co-sponsor of the thing, basically.
Yeah. Us.
Us, other co-sponsor of the thing.
La Karencita expressed that she wanted to come, but I haven't gotten her WhatsApp information from her yet, so I don't know if she's waiting on that or not. Mariana from Mexico Relocation Guide. Truly remarkable life, based out of Ajijic.
Mm-hmm. Two Travelers Mexico.
Two Travelers
Mark and
Mexico.
Paulette
Okay, so
from
yeah, that's 8. That's 8 right now. And I'm not done.
Destination
Retirement. That's 9.
That's 9.
So I'm not done inviting people yet. I mean, I'm inviting David in Georgia, and I'm inviting. I don't know. I've got a list, and I haven't gotten.
And we need to reach out to Chasing the Dream.
Chasing the
American Dream.
I think I did.
I'm just.
But the thing is I have to follow up with some people. There's still people that might be coming, so it could turn out to be 10, 12 YouTube channels. We don't have anything else planned yet. So the thought is that these however many YouTube channels are there,
the creators,
that some of these creators might want to get together and do some collaborative videos. So maybe we might do that in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe in the afternoon and evening, we have a meet and greet with subscribers and anyone else who wants to come.
I got a feeling that would probably start the afternoon and go in the evening. Just
but that's the plan. Now,
let's see.
They're not solidified yet. We know it's going to be that day, and we're still working on adding people.
Ernie is working on getting a hotel that he's trying to book, basically exclusively for the
YouTubers
or participants that want to show up. I know that Mark and Paulette are thinking about doing an Airbnb house.
Okay.
We may actually reach out to Marisol, who was our host for our Airbnb, and go, is it available? Because I wouldn't mind having that house again.
Yeah, that house was great.
And
it's 3 bedroom.
It's 3 bedrooms.
3 king beds.
Yeah. And so, and I know us. I know, Tommy's going to be there. I know Annie, Arlene, and Annie Vet are going to be there. So I know that the night will go on in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So, yes. January 25th is really the only thing that's written in stone at the moment. There'll be more coming soon. It's just a matter of getting the emails out and getting confirmations, because I'm adding people who are absolutely confirming their participation as a YouTuber.
Yes.
I'm adding them to a private WhatsApp group so we can all communicate better about, where we're going to stay, what time we're going to do things, that kind of thing. So I need people's information to get them into that.
And Tommy, we got room for you in Querétaro if you want to fly in early and drive up with us.
Yeah,
for
sure. Okay, so Quito, you're going to get a box, VC box. We have a Pro 3.
Pro 3.
But that is an older generation. As I see, they have a newer version out. Just take a look and see what they have to offer. They actually do have an official website, and they do outline all the different models of what they have and what the features are.
And Rick ordered ours through Amazon Mexico and had delivered right down here, and didn't take more than less than a week, I think.
Yeah. And Arlene and Annie Vet, Fire Stick and apps that are free, which are APK, using it for at least 5 years. And if one closes, there is always another APK I can download, and everything is free. Yeah. So
Oh, and the other thing of VCTV is that it also does pay-per-view.
Yes, it does. And we have
if you're a UFC fan.
I bought a Fire Stick before we came to Mexico. We haven't used it once, not once, because we really weren't watching TV.
No,
we weren't. But I have a Fire Stick, and maybe one day we could plug it into a secondary television and give it a go.
We can give that a try.
Yeah, for sure. Always away. That's right. Okay, I will say this again, the gray areas. Now, I remember, I would say about 15 years ago or more, when they were cracking down hard on people sitting in movie theaters, recording movies, and then bootlegging them and selling them. Okay. This was a big thing. It was all over the news for a while. And it was, you know, yeah, we had pay per view too. Love it. Awesome. Um, but anyway, I remember when this was happening. So I'm watching some of these movies that show up on this box are still in a theater. And I was like, I don't know how they're doing this, but whatever. So I decided I'm going to watch Beetlejuice one night, about a month or two ago. And as the credits are starting to roll by, I see somebody's head going by, and then they're down. And then they got back up and they went back this way again, and then they're down. And then they didn't really move much for the rest of the movie. And then at the very end, I saw a hand or something. And I'm like, somebody recorded this in a theater. Now, if I had paid attention, in the corner, they tell you if it's FHD, HD, whatever it is, 4K, they tell you in the corner of whatever it is you're watching when you go to select it. Well, they had two other designations and I didn't know what they were. And when I looked them up, essentially it was somebody recorded it in a theater.
Yep.
Now, what kills me is that they're allowed to give it this designation and just stick it out there for people to watch. And
basically flaunting it, going,
yeah, this was recorded this way. Camera, it was CS or SC or something camera shot, something like that. I don't know. It was so ridiculous. I could not believe it. And they're advertising it. But yeah, so some of the more recent movies, if they're still in the theater, they're definitely there illegally. But,
is what it is.
It is what it is. But if you can't stand it and you can't wait to see whatever's at the theater, I would say that there was definitely you could tell if you paid attention, because you know how a camera will automatically adjust, brightness and contrast and things like that. So if they went from a bright scene to a dark scene or a dark scene to a bright scene,
it's slow to react.
It was a little slow to react and level out. So you could tell. Yeah.
But the price is right. I mean,
if it's free, it's for me.
I mean, that's and no problems with the sports because that's getting the feeds, So
I notice that the resolution gets a little wonky on the sports a little bit sometimes.
I'm still seeing it.
No, I know.
I know.
Like I notice in the grass, the grass. I watch it and I'm like, that's kind of pixelating a little bit in there. Yeah. But he's right. He gets to watch the game, and it's not costing us anything.
Nope.
We're not paying for ESPN Plus. We're not paying for Major League Baseball. We're not paying for hockey. We're just it's on.
Which I do watch them all.
Yes, you do. He watched. Oh God.
Yeah.
He watches so much sports. Oh my gosh. I think I need to get that Fire Stick so I can watch my Days of Our Lives and get caught up before they delete another season. Or the next thing you know, there'll be a whole bunch of new characters I don't know.
This is all of a sudden, she's going to start working and it's suddenly going to be.
No, I know. I won't have time.
And I
won't have time.
I'm doing all my work. Now I'm doing all my videos and now I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, when I start working again, it's going to be kind of the way it used to be. I'm going to be working business hours, obviously, East Coast business hours. So, once the workday's done, we'll have a couple hours of daylight left at the most to do anything. And then we're going to be relegated to weekends. So our video content is going to be captured on weekends. That's pretty much what it's going to be.
Well, but in Querétaro, to be fair, a lot of what we're going to be doing is not so much travel related. Some of them we're going to revisit. We may revisit going to Tequisquiapan and things like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is actually we've got a lot of things that we keep brainstorming and going. All right, we got 6 months that we need to fill.
There's
And
suggestions that you've made.
yes,
And we're like, yes, we're writing it down. That's a good
yep,
one. Yeah.
and you know, revisit the 10 gadgets, because one particular person made a comment going, well, you know, you guys need to be there before you know what the hell you're talking about. And you know, 2 years in now, and guess what?
We knew what we were talking
We knew
about.
what we were talking about. You know,
I do think, though, that because we'll be in a location for a solid 6 months, I don't. I guess you guys are probably hearing that, right?
ambulance
And a motorcycle.
and a motorcycle. All we need now is a helicopter above us, and we'll be just.
It's the city, guys. It's the city. It's crazy. You know, it doesn't even bother us.
No.
That's the crazy thing. We're so used to this now.
And I got a feeling we're about to change this for the 6 months in Querétaro for almost total silence, because we're away from
Maybe
the Querétaro. Well,
the traffic and the sirens.
the traffic, and I mean, we're going to be a little further removed. So,
well, anyway, while we're in Querétaro for 6 months, that gives us an opportunity to actually venture out to places that may not have been in our original plans to visit. So, like, one of those places would be Mexico City. You know, we really weren't planning to look at Mexico City as a place to live.
well, no. We still aren't planning
No.
on moving to Mexico City.
No.
But it's definitely been on a visit list.
But that's what I just said.
Yes, I know.
That's just what I said. Okay, so yeah, so that gives us an opportunity to visit Mexico City, so we can leave all our stuff at our home, and we can just take a suitcase, hop on a bus maybe, and just go check out Mexico City. And there's lots of things I'd like to see there. So that, you know, the 6 months in Querétaro gives us an opportunity to do things like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
and yeah, it's just a.
Gosh, here we go, Shane. Yeah, about the bootleg. Those were what most of the DVDs we were buying in Iraq were. Yeah. I remember I actually was donating plasma. There was something I wanted to go do something. I can't remember what it was, a trip to Philly or something with Laura. I don't know. And I needed money to pay for it. We were kind of tight. I was donating plasma. And every time I went to donate plasma, there'd be the regular people who all did it too. And there was always this guy always selling these bootleg DVDs all the time. $5 each. Amazon Mexico should give you guys a kickback. I just ordered me one of those fancy 5,800 peso contraptions. Are you talking about the VC box?
VCTV? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Wilfredo. Hey, hola. Where you been tonight, bud?
We'll see you soon.
Soon. Very soon. What's so hilarious is that I am in a city and I assumed the sirens were here. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So you can hear them. I figured you could. I wondered about that. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Okay. Hi, Jim. Hi. Sorry I missed the name of the box you mentioned. I'm moving to Querétaro in February and would like to look into it. You know what? I will type it right here in the chat.
C.
It is little V C box. VC box.
And we have the Pro 3.
Yeah, we have the Pro 3, but I do believe there's newer
and the version that we got actually comes with an extra HDMI cable. What you do, but there is a little keyboard, and I'm talking little keyboard that comes with it that is very helpful when you are trying to do a search.
Searches. Instead of one remote, click, 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 up, up, over, over, down, down. You just use the keyboard.
Yeah, you just beep, 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 enter.
I mean, we don't really use the keyboard a lot, but yeah, if you're doing a search and you're able to make favorites, you almost have to. You almost have to, because when you have 30,000 movies plus that you can pick from, sometimes the search isn't very intuitive. Humphrey Bogart, for example.
I'm a huge Bogey fan and love my film noir. And type in Humphrey Bogart, and it shows 3 movies.
Yeah.
3.
But there's more than that.
But if I type in African Queen, boom, there it is. Type in Kane Mutiny, boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Type in The Big Sleep, boom, there it is. Casablanca. I mean,
It's all how they tagged them.
You know, Maltese Falcon. They're all there. And the same thing is true if you type in Hitchcock. You will get, you know, maybe 5 movies that Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
But if you type in, you know, Vertigo, Rope, you know, Rear Window, boom, 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 they're all in there. So sometimes what you really have to do is do a search on your computer to get the exact name of the movie that it is that you want to watch. Then do the enter or do the search for it, and it's there.
I mean, I went through one night. I'm not even kidding. This is what I did for entertainment. For about an hour and a half to 2 hours, I went through movies and just favorited the stuff I wanted to see. I did it for the TV shows I want to see or the series that I want to see. I went through every special streaming service type thing, the Netflix, the Hulus, all that. Went through each one of those, all the shows that I normally watched, all the ones I might be interested, and I just favorited them. And then that way you can log on and go straight to your favorites and find what you want very quickly.
Now, a downside of this particular box is that you don't get to have dual accounts. I have 4 TV shows that are in my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go through all the favorites because she has favorited all of them. So I have to go through all of them to find my 4.
Yeah, there's no
way of going, you know, like Netflix would do who's watching, and then you could do that.
Right.
So, you know, she likes to go through and I may watch this 6 years from now. Here, I'm gonna favorite it. And I'm going, I'm watching these, and I gotta scroll through all of that.
What, it's Space 1999. I haven't seen this since I was a little kid. And Lost in Space and oh gosh, yes.
Yeah,
so fun.
That is a downside.
Herman's Head. I haven't watched Herman's Head in how many years?
And you probably won't for 3 more years.
You never know. Let's see. So Jesse, after y'all settle down somewhere, are y'all going to keep going back to South Dakota to renew the driver's license, or get Mexican driver's license and abandon the South Dakota one?
The latter.
Yeah.
Because here's the whole thing with keeping a South Dakota address. And this worked out with us perfectly, is when I turn 65, I'm going to have to declare for Medicare. And for Medicare, you have to list your home state, and you have to have all of anything that you want to have done other than life, saving
services,
anything that's life saving, that will get done. But anything else has to be done in your home state. So, when I turn 65, which will also happen to coincide with where we pick where we're going to be, then we will pick probably either Arizona or Texas.
One or the other.
One of the other is probably going to be the 2. Texas offers no state taxes. So, we'll have to do some research on that.
I think Texas requires 30 days of residency, though. That might be a 30-day Airbnb in Texas or something.
We may have to play the game and figure out which one. But, yes, we will abandon.
But here's this needs some clarity, too. So let's say we're in Mexico and we buy a Mexican car, or for some reason, because maybe it was affordable, we actually get our car actually imported to Mexico. I don't see that happening.
Whichever way.
It could happen. So let's say we have a car that is now registered in Mexico, a Mexican car, and we have our Mexican driver's license, and we have our Mexican insurance. How does that work if we drive into the United States and end up in an accident in the U.S.?
Well, that's information that we haven't bothered to really.
And the thing is in the U.S., if you don't have a driver's license, you don't get automobile insurance.
That's 2 years down the road.
We'll look into that then. But we're not going to stay in South Dakota.
No.
That was just a temporary situation for the moment. The laws have changed in Texas recently that makes it more appealing than it used to be. I forget what it was that changed. It was something. Wilfredo might remember.
I think it was the 30 days.
I think 30 days are still in. It was something changed.
Well, I know one of the things that changed for us is I had a cousin who lived in the Dallas area, and we were going to be able to use him, and then he went bagged this and moved to North Carolina, and it's like.
But anyway,
oh, well.
So yeah, we're not going to stay in South Dakota. That's the thing. We can get our license renewed online one time
for another 5 years.
For an additional 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's good for 5 years. You can renew one time online for 5 years. And then after that, you have to go back.
Yeah, the whole other thing is not having to take the car back to the U.S. to be inspected.
That was the big thing. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
it was Texas. Texas has removed annual inspection. That's what it was.
Yeah, and that could have been a game changer at the time, but we were like, no state taxes and no having to drive back to the States, because originally we were like, well, you know what, our youngest lives in Raleigh, we'll use her, and da 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 da, and then we started thinking about it, and I'm going, hold on, it's 3-day drive to the border, then it's a hard 3-day drive back to North Carolina to get the car inspected. So that's 6 days there.
Yeah.
6 nights in
it's just not worth it.
And then 6 hard days back. No.
No, not worth it. Hola, David. Just thought I would say hola since I saw you were live. By the way, I also moved here in late November 2020. Yeah, so
same time we
did. Yeah. Yep. That's really cool. And oh gosh, I watched you as you were prepping your move. Oh, I'm so sorry.
We thought
we were doing. Look, the content was valuable.
Yeah.
Boy, is it embarrassing.
The presentations suck.
It's embarrassing to look at those videos.
And I can't remember who it was that she was watching videos on YouTube, and somebody made the comment somewhere that you just make your first 100 videos because they're going to suck. And we were, we were like,
thumbnails were bad.
No, that's not us. And so now we're here at 300, almost 20 videos, and we look back at those early ones and we go, oh my God, we sucked. I mean, it's like, okay.
Oh, hey, and empty nesters, you can stay with us. We're in Houston.
Gracias.
Awesome. Let's see. And I have a 101 Rainbow Drive, Livingston, Texas. They scan my mail. Very good.
I mean, that's the whole thing we're going to need is someplace that we can call that.
Market. Oh, I went for tacos and 2-for-1 gelato and then margaritas. Good job. You know what I want to do? Maybe after the live, I might try it. I don't know. I need to get tacos árabes before we leave Puebla, and we only have a couple days left.
Yes, we do.
It's like the only major significant Puebla food that I need to get. I actually looked it up the other day. My goodness, tacos árabes were the precursor to pastor. Tacos árabes were introduced to Puebla by Lebanese immigrants who were used to making shawarma.
Do they bring a shadrawi as well?
Well, yeah, because shadrawi was also Lebanese, but in this particular case, it was the shawarma. They were used to making it on the spit with lamb, and of course they had to find a substitute for lamb. And they tried chicken, they tried beef, and they settled on pork. And the seasoning was somewhat similar, but that whole thing on the spit with the flame and the slicing, that was all because of Lebanese shawarma. That's what that was. I don't know if I'm saying that right, by the way. If I'm saying shawarma incorrectly, please somebody let me know, because I don't know how to say it. So I didn't know that. And it slowly developed from that into somebody coming up with pastor, with the seasoning and the pineapple. But you know, think of how popular tacos pastor or anything pastor is now in Mexico. It's everywhere, right? It started with it started with tacos arabes, which was the substitute for shawarma. I did not know that. How fascinating is that? Anyway, I have to get that. It's like the one thing I really haven't tried in Puebla that's very Puebla. We tried the semitas, we tried the mole poblano. Um, what else did we try? Well, oh, I had mole blanco the other night with chicatanas on it and the sweetbreads. I forget the word for sweetbreads. I had that. Oh, I got to try pulque yesterday for the first time. I got pulque with fresa, con fresa. It was very good. And chili and nogada, which typically is out of season at this moment. But this restaurant in, I can't think of the word now,
Cholula.
Cholula, they had it. So, so good, so good. Need those tacos arabes, though, before we leave. Texas, no inspection. Thank you, Kita. I thought that's what that was. Very good. Um, we have a Mexican plated car. The insurance covers public responsibility in the U.S. So that I think so that's basically the same thing as having liability.
Yep.
Correct? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. Good, good, good. Thank you, Wilfredo. Hey! Hola from Puebla. Hello, Jamar. How you doing?
And Mark and Paulette
And
from.
Mark and Paulette. Oh, shoot. Hey there, guys. Hola.
We were just talking about you guys. We're going to be there on the 25th.
That's right. That's right. And Tom says if you need help with the Social Security Medicare stuff, he can help. Okay. Even though I'm 35 years younger than you.
You know,
Uh,
he looks it too.
there we go. And Debbie, you got 2 more years and you get permanent residency. Very good.
Same with us.
Same with us. And hey, Mark, I know this is Mark now. It took me about 100 videos to be comfortable in front of the camera. Yeah. And I think that that's got a lot to do with it. Like that awkwardness, and you're just cringing. You're cringing when you look at those older videos and go, "Oh man, no, we're so bad." But you're right. You're right.
The only star performer back then was Bandit. I mean, you know.
Oh, Bandit. You got to bring up Bandit. I miss my baby boy. Yes, if you are in Puebla, you need to have tacos arabe. All our students told us that we would love it. Yes, but I want to do it. I want to do it with the pita shell. Now you can get them in corn too, and I think they call the corn version Oriente for some reason. But you can get the corn tortilla or the basically the pita version. I want the pita version, or maybe we'll get one of both and try them both. Oh, I want them so bad.
You who
Look,
eat bugs.
Look,
Yeah.
I haven't had dinner tonight yet, so just talking about it's making me hungry. So, Sleepy Joe, guys, you've been so helpful. So many thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank you very much, Joe. We appreciate that.
The best part is you guys don't understand. You are all
Yes.
our family.
Yes.
And you know, it's we look forward, literally look forward to, oh, all right, it's alive. We're getting to see all the family.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it is. So
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and some
I
of you
agree.
are going to get to see it live coming up this weekend. But then again, on the 25th, we hope all of you are going to come in or as many of you are possible to come in and spend time with us on the 25th.
We're going to invade San Miguel in the middle of snowbird season.
Well, damn, Skippy, what's a couple hundred more gringos? I mean, you know.
Yes, we had tacos al pastor tonight. That is my favorite. You know what? That's probably my favorite too. Honestly, I tend to fall back on pastor quite often.
Cochinita. For me.
No, I like cochinita pibil.
I know.
Sure.
My favorite is still cochinita pibil.
Oh, Debbie, yeah, Bandit, my boy Bandit. I miss him so much. Oh, much, no, much on El Pastor tacos right now. Ugh, 15 pesos each. Oh my gosh.
Hard to go wrong there.
I know. And Wilfredo, we have a taco arabe around the corner from us in Millennium 3. Woo! Woo! Okay, but wait, Alfredo, are they making them with the corn tortilla or are they making them with the pita tortilla type thing?
Well, and here's the other question.
What's that?
Do we have to go all the way out to get back into Millennial 3? Because our Airbnb is on the outside, just on the outside.
We're on the outside looking in.
We're not privy to the internal workings of Millennial 3.
We're not part of those people.
No.
When we look at our old videos, we think, how is anyone still following us? Yes, that is so true. The videos were not good. The content was good, but the presentation was awful.
Yep. We delivered it with the exact same belief in the content and on honesty and everything else. We just didn't have a sense of style at the time at all.
Not at all.
We were just like,
we were stiff. And there was no
no.
Oh wait. When we go to Millennial, need to have some tacos arabe. That's right. We'll make it a party. Pauline wants to know how the bugs tasted the other night. Okay, well let's talk about the bugs for a minute.
No, let's not.
I don't mind eating the bugs. My thing is, number one, no antenna, no legs, and no wings. Get rid of all those, I'm okay. So I like chapulines. I particularly like chapulines with chili con limon, and I like chili con ajo. So those are my two favorites. And I will pick the legs off of them first if they have them before I eat them. I prefer to have them with some mezcal. And I've had them with guacamole. So I like them both. Now, the other night, as some of you may or may not know, I tried mole blanco. And it was really, really good. It was made with ground up almonds and white chocolate and some serrano peppers and things like that. But the only way to get it, I wanted to try it with escamoles. Escamoles are basically the larva of these really large ants, and they're seasonal. And when I looked at their menu online, they had them. I was like, okay, they call them the Mexican caviar. So I was like, okay, let me try that. I want to get the escamoles with these sweetbreads. I've never had sweetbreads either. What are sweetbreads? A lie. Sweetbreads are a lie. They're not bread and they're not sweet. Why they call them that, I don't know. So they're basically they're organs. They're organs. I don't like liver, but they could be a thymus gland, for example. Now, if that's not making you go, yeah, just let me get through it. Okay. So mole blanco with sweetbreads and chicatanas. What are chicatanas? Very large ants that also are relatively seasonal. So I tried a single piece of chicatana when I was at the Mercado Central de Abastos in Oaxaca. It had no flavor. It's crunchy. It had no flavor. And I couldn't imagine, why does anybody eat a chicatana? This has no flavor. I don't get it. And then I went over and he got to try a chapuline. Well, so I'm at dinner now, and because they don't have escamoles, they've replaced that with chicatanas. And I'm like, oh, I've had one of those before. I didn't think a whole lot of it. It's just crunchy, no flavor. What value does it add? But I got it. Okay, so now the sweetbreads. These were sliced, less than a half inch each, and they were grilled until they were crispy on the outside. And they reminded me, the sweetbreads reminded me of uh, really grilled, crispy pork medallions where the fat around the outside of the medallion is crunchy, crispy pork fat, that's really, really good. The mole was delicious. The chicatanas, they don't have flavor. They're just crunchy. And that's really all it was. They just add texture. I didn't think of it in any other way. They were crunchy. That's it. So good stuff though. I
I had
couldn't
a
get them.
good fillet that they actually cooked correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost to the point of I got a moo. I
Oh.
got a soft moo when it arrived at the plate, so it was like, all right, we're good here. So
And you had mole chipotle.
mole chipotle and oh yeah,
Yeah, it was good.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
little bit of bite to it, but it
There,
was
there is a drink here in Puebla that I haven't tried yet that I would like to try, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm hoping that this drink is not hard to find. It's some of you may know what it is. It's a like a raisin liqueur that comes in a shot glass, and they'll put like a raisin and some goat cheese on a stick or something. I wanted to try that. I forget what it's called. I think it starts with a P, pistre or something like that. Um, so between the tacos arabe and that, I pretty much have hit my Puebla food, and those are the things that I'm still missing. Um, oh, when when we go to Militia, we did that tacos arabe. Okay, Tom, this is how much I love you guys. I'm coming to SMA in the middle of ski season.
which getting Tommy out of the Poconos during the ski season is not easy.
Oh no, Jesse, listening to describe eating bugs, definitely on the verge of. You know what though? Honestly, I would have never thought. I really have my limitations again on eating insects. Here's the big one: it has to be dead. I'm not eating anything that's alive. I won't eat seafood that's alive. I'm not eating insects that are alive. We saw, or we didn't personally see, but somebody in our group did, saw a guy at Monte Aban scoop up a cricket or grasshopper right out of the grass and ate it alive. No,
No,
no seasoning, legs, wings, everything.
no.
Why? I don't know. I need
Just to
I
give you guys a hint of one of the topics for the video that's coming up for the 6 months in Querétaro is you can survive in Mexico and be a picky eater because she eats everything.
oh, not everything. I have
Damn near.
I have my limits. I try things.
Well, yes, you do. Yeah.
I'm adventurous. Let's just say that.
All right, I tried Cepelini. That's that was, but you can survive here if you are a meat and potatoes type of person.
Mm.
And we're gonna do a whole video on yes, you can.
He tried a chapelline, but he did not savor the flavor. He literally threw it in his mouth and swallowed it.
No shit. All I wanted to do was get this done. I needed about 6 beers to go with it. But
Oh, Poppy. Yes, but it's true. It's true. It's verdad. Ah, ah. Gringos are pedophiles. That's the right definition. Pedophiles. Gringos are pedophiles. Really now? That's news to me. That'd be pretty creepy, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm really adventurous with the food. I like to try new things. There are a lot of, you know, over the last 3 months, especially, we have tried some of the best food we have ever eaten between Oaxaca and Puebla. Some of the best food ever.
I would say majority of that came from Oaxaca. I mean, Puebla has been good, but it's not Oaxaca for food. But you know, that's just my take on it. Um, and gotta also say that yesterday we did a day tour, and I have to give a shout out to Atlisco. Um, for a town that you want to go see for Christmas, it is definitely Atlisco. That was, our driver sort of left us off, and he was like, just walk, derecho, straight, keep going. And it was at the end of a long day, and we were tired and everything else. And
Yeah.
then we sort of walked around and saw these great stairs, and they're painted and decorated for Christmas. And we're like, oh, okay, whoop-de-doo, da-da-da-da. He was like, I'll meet you on the other side of town. 7 or 8 blocks. And the further we walked, the more this town just sort of just grabbed hold. Like, A, it is cute as hell. And B,
Yeah.
they do Christmas to a whole new level. It was like, wow.
Lots of flowers there too. And they're known for the flowers and the greenhouses.
And the avocados.
We went into well, I went into several churches, and the aroma of the flowers in the churches is, I'm not going to say it's overwhelming. It's not overwhelming, but my goodness, it just fills the air. It's just amazing. It's a beautiful. At least it's a really pretty place. It's very cute, and we only spent a few hours there. I mean, I think it's worth going back maybe another time just for a quick trip, just to spend a weekend or something.
But
We could take a bus. Or
yeah, I could.
It was cute. It was really cute.
Yeah, it definitely opened some eyes. Cholula was interesting and a lot bigger than what I expected.
So wait, so it's in here twice. Okay, so I'll go to the second one. Okay, so it's called Pasita. Then I will look for Pasita. I need to find some, and I need to get my tacos arabe.
One more thing to put in the car.
What? Just a bottle?
I know.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I'll do, Mark. I will empty that bottle of Kahlua before we go. There's not that much left in it. Well, guys, it has been 2 hours and 42 minutes. Another long one, and another siren coming.
They ain't coming for us. That's all that matters.
Does anyone have any questions they want to ask specifically about, I don't know, Puebla or anything, actually? Ask anything. Please do. And if there aren't any questions, we'll wrap it up in about 5 minutes and call it a night. So let's see. So Friday and Saturday, we have to, well, Thursday and Friday, we have to pack up the car. Not as bad this time because we didn't bring everything in.
No, but we sort of have to take the stuff out from the roof.
We have
bag
to reorganize.
that we sort of stuck in the car. That has to come out. Then we have to put the stuff in the car because it all only fits one way. So it's
So we have to get the car ready to go. Have it ready by Friday. I think roof bag down there would be okay overnight. What do you?
No,
think?
I agree.
Yeah, our garage is very, very secure. So we'll set that up. We'll get that set up Friday, and then Saturday morning we will head out, get to Querétaro, unload, and then I have to go.
Bless you, and Yvette and Arlene.
I have to go through everything and find stuff that we have bought for our granddaughter to take back to the U.S. with me, so I can ship it to her for Christmas. So, and then the airport,
and then unload the suitcases she's going to take the next day. Even if it's just pile it on the bed, whatever.
Oh, here's a good question. Hey there, Cindy. If I want to buy pesos to hold on to, what do I do? Well, Unless you have a Mexican bank account, your options are pretty slim. You're either going to have to withdraw from an ATM in pesos and just hold cash around your house,
Or Wise.
or use a card like Wise Card, or deposit into a Mexican bank account and build it up that way. That's the only thing I can think of. I would not recommend, um, like I don't know how else you would build up. You would have to have either a checking and a savings or a savings account in pesos, or you're just making cash withdrawals and just socking it away in your underwear drawer, or in a coffee can at the house.
The problem with pesos is, 20 to the dollar. I mean, I remember when we came down that one time and we went and bought, what was it, 3,000 US dollars worth of pesos. And oh my God, it was
Yeah.
a stack like this. And I'm going, I think we had 40 some thousand pesos. And it was like, yo.
Well, Annie and Arlene have been helping Mark out, getting orders of cigars from Black Chazaro, and they won't ship, so they get the cigars delivered to them, and then they ship for
Mauricio,
us.
the general manager, actually delivers to their house, and then we send them money. Of course, we're going to be back in Querétaro, so I can actually drive over, and they'll see the crazy gringo, as they call me, loco, gringo loco, and Virginia will be like, oh,
She'll remember you.
Yeah.
Recently, he got an order from San Andrea in
San Andres.
San Andres.
No R.
Oh, San Andres in Veracruz.
Veracruz, which we toured that facility as well.
They deliver.
They actually do deliver. A little more expensive, but it's a little bit bigger cigar. Cost wise, probably about equal.
Okay.
So, but it's not easy down here.
No, it's hard, and they're not as inexpensive as you think they would be either.
No, unfortunately, our good friend Don down in Huatulco, he's another cigar smoker, and he was like, try these people. All these people will take a credit card and they'll ship, which was like, boom. So
yes. Thank you, Tom, and big hug, honey. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. So we're going to chill out, guys. I think we're going by. Good night, and you're so very welcome. You're so very welcome, and you're welcome too, there, Cindy and Marcus. Have a good night, everybody. We will see you again in 2 weeks.
From Querétaro.
Unless I'm still stuck in the U.S. And if I'm still stuck in the U.S., maybe there's a way we could dual stream and the two of us will be on split screens. I don't know what. We'll see.
Oh, God help us.
We'll see. All right. Adios. 2 weeks. Oh, wait. Just to summarize this evening, let me catch us. We have discussed driver's licenses, how much Gina likes zombie movies, and how much Gina likes eating glands. Mark, blink twice if you aren't safe.
I'm good.
Brains.
I'm good.
Brains. Good night, y'all. Have a great evening.